Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the F1 Creator Series. It's great to be back. I took a break last time, but I am back again, obviously, for this, well, extravagant race we're going to be having this evening. Of course, we've just witnessed all the real-life cars giving us some action around the Saudi Arabian circuit of Jeddah, the Jeddah Corniche circuit, of course. Only 2 races historically in the real life of Formula 1, but it marks its return here tonight on the Creator Series, here in the year 2023. And we're going to be seeing the best creators in the F1 game showing exactly what they're all about, hopefully making it through an entire race as well. Joining me in the commentary box is none other than Badgerman. Badgerman, we're back together. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think this is the first time this season of the Creator Series that it's us two.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's been so. I think it's been 4 weeks in total.
Yeah,
since the season finale. So it's really been a long time. How's R1 been?
R1's been good. You can probably see from the advertising behind me, folks. I am obviously involved with the ESL R1 series, which is, I got to say, very, very enjoyable. But this is also enjoyable as well. I did question whether this was the right thing to do to leave this up here, but to be honest, I caught my finger in this last week, and I don't really fancy doing that again. It really hurt, so I will not be trying that again. But a big hello to everyone in the chat: Suriva7, B Aaron 15, Marky No Mates as well. Welcome to Bin Den Day as well. GB68 is my favourite streamer. Well, you're going to see him tonight in action as well. All of you, let us know who you're supporting tonight in this race. It's going to be absolutely special. We witnessed a dramatic qualifying session in real life as well, Badgerman. Obviously, Max Verstappen not having, should we say, his ultimate time there at Saudi. Obviously, the record that he looked to continue from Bahrain, obviously taking top spot in qualifying and then, of course, winning the race. Looks like he might have a stiffer task on his hand heading into the race tomorrow.
Yeah, he might very well, and it might become even stiffer because from what I've heard and what I've read and everything, it seems like there's an issue either with the transmission, the gearbox, or with the engine. So if they have to change something, it's parc fermé right now. He'd have to start from either the back of the grid or the pit lane.
Yeah.
So it might get much worse.
A slight sense of relief from Ferrari, because obviously we witnessed that Charles Leclerc had to make a change onto a third control electronics unit. Obviously it didn't quite go to plan after that, and a lot of people were slating Ferrari on social media saying already on your third unit. I mean, that is obviously not ideal, but obviously maybe a little bit of retribution with Verstappen going through this issue with his engine.
It feels like it. It feels like, after everyone's made fun of them, all of a sudden, now it hits Red Bull instead of Ferrari. But at the same time, I feel like the control electronics that broke twice on, they were changed once because they did detect an error and then they broke on Leclerc's car. That's a different part to the gearbox. I feel like the gearbox is much more susceptible to any kind of damage. If it is the gearbox, again, we don't know yet what exactly caused the issue for Max Verstappen, but from what I've heard, it's transmission gearbox issue. Much more susceptible to any kind of damage, and so I wouldn't fully let Ferrari off the hook. But it seems like, reliability absolutely an issue this season. It
certainly looks that way, and we're going to be making our way to Jeddah very shortly, folks. It's all happening. Qualifying 1 will be upon us. Just want to say a big thank you to our partners in crime, that of course being Grid Finder, not to mention Sim Racing Centre as well. Great to have those guys on board, and you guys can check those guys out as well. Obviously, links are available on this channel. But yes, great to see you guys, and we're looking forward to this. All the cars now ready and waiting to head out for the next round of this incredible championship. Badgerman, anything we should look out for already, or obviously it's been a drama-filled couple of weeks?
It's a very good question if there's anything we should look out for. I think one of the main stories is the battle, the ever-ongoing battle between Thelma Bardock and Alex Gillen that saw its continuation at Mexico, where they were battling all the way to the final corner when Thelma Bardock decided to get onto the throttle a bit too early, spun the car, didn't even finish P2, dropped down to P3. But absolutely scintillating battle between those two drivers again. So wouldn't be surprised if we see that here as well. And the other story that's a bit, I wouldn't say midfield, I think it's also near the top, but it's a bit of a tragic story. That's the story of Meraki JL, or now just down to Meraki. He dropped the JL recently, and he has been struggling with lap number 31 in particular. In 2 of the last 3 races, he crashed out on exactly lap number 31, and that's why he chose to change his driver number to 62, because as you know, 31 times 2 for the 2 retirements equals 62.
Well, speaking to him, I don't think he considered it, should I say, that much of a tragedy. He was delighted to remove the JL off the back of his name, even though I threatened to leave it in there. He, of course, did not take too kindly to that. But nevertheless, it's great to see him out on track. He is actually streaming on the Williams Esports account tonight, folks. So if you want to go and check him out and send him some love, you can over at the Williams Esports Twitch channel. As you can see, all the cars now out and about. Our familiar graphics that you've become accustomed to here are now on show, and we're in Q1. 16 minutes here in qualifying. Obviously now we're well within the 15-minute mark, near enough. And currently watching on our screen, Jorrit Jan van Geffen, who is out on track, looking to enlist a big run himself. Obviously, it's been, well, very unfortunate in recent weeks, and I actually go back to what happened at Bahrain. It was a less than ideal race for one Jorrit Jan van Geffen.
It certainly was, and he's been struggling, I think, throughout the season so far, especially based on what we've seen from him last season. So I wonder how he's going to bounce back from all of that in the 3rd round here today. Certainly would expect him to give a very good account of himself so far here in qualifying, but the race is long. It'll be 50 laps exactly. I find that oddly satisfying, personally, that it's going to be exactly 50 laps, as Mr. Dale has retired, and that is in turn 4. Well, oh my, there's a Mercedes getting there. I think that is Hayden Gullis. Nope, that is Bushy Ants, who just is heading there. And there's a McLaren around as well, and that is Safzo.
Well, Safzo currently stuck at the moment in the slalom chicane section. And of course, on intermediate tyres that obviously don't necessarily have the grip, and you would never really see this compound on show at Jeddah. Obviously, the temperatures don't really allow for these these types of conditions. We've also lost Jorrit Jan van Geffen. He is out of the session, so drama already. And I have to tell you that is a bizarre one.
Yeah, he crashed in a very surprising spot, which is after the final chicane, the chicane in the 3rd sector, let's call it the Mick Schumacher chicane. After that, it comes a right-hander. He got through that perfectly fine, and then he crashed. Before the final, or the penultimate straight, starts bending leftwards. So, a very surprising one that even makes me scratch my head a little bit. But he is out as well, so everything I said, I think that's commentator's curse right there. Everything I just said about, oh, you know, he's got a chance here and he's going to do quick work in qualifying, he'll bounce back. Well, not quite. He's going to start from near the back of the grid.
Yeah, well, Dirk Chocolate now making his way through this next slalom section himself. Obviously a lot on the table here for your man Dirk Chocolate in the Red Bull. And making his way through this next left. Obviously now topping the intermediate charts is Alex Gillen. And holding on to his position as well. Meraki goes to the top already ahead of Alex Gillen at 132.263. Obviously, while these won't be representative later on in the session, as now that guy Vince goes 2nd fastest. AlphaTauri looking relatively strong in the intermediate tyre championship run. Obviously, the intermediate tyre championship is still a serious championship that many of these drivers plumb for. And currently, as things stand, it looks like it's going to go to the way of Meraki. Hayden Gullis across the line, 4th fastest in the Mercedes, transferring himself from a Mercedes-powered Aston Martin, no longer teammates with GB68, but now in a Silver Arrows for only the mere reason that the car looks better for the graphics.
I mean, to be fair, these are creators, and that is a valid reason in my opinion. So, I don't blame him, but interesting choices these. For the drivers here to make, based on how the car looks potentially in the thumbnail, I would assume. And yeah, to be fair, I kind of agree with him. The Mercedes would look better in a thumbnail. than the Aston Martin does. So I can't blame him. I can't fault him for that decision.
No, not at all. Infratic has gone 5th fastest. Liam now goes 2nd fastest as well in the Haas as well, so you'll be thrilled with that one. That guy Vince now in 3rd, Gillen just behind him as well. So AlphaTauri, as I said before, 3rd and 4th. Gullis just in behind him too. Al Taco Man on his return also currently sits 11th fastest in the Ferrari. Great to see him back as well, all the way from Texas in the United States of America. And that's the great thing about the Creator Series, Badgerman. It's an international series. We've had drivers from Australia, of course, last season. We had Eye Contrast. I mean, Ben Daly technically is Australian, but he lives in the UK, so we don't quite count him anymore.
Wow, okay.
He'll slap me for that later, I'm sure.
He probably will, yeah, he probably will. But we've got drivers from the Netherlands in Tom. We've got, obviously, plenty of Brits. But I think Swave is from Canada. And then now I have to start thinking. I mean, I've seen Ali's name recently for the first time. If that guy is not Italian, I don't know what he is. That is the most Italian name I've ever seen.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have to see what he can pull out the bag, because he's just exited the final corner. We'll just have to see what he gets when he crosses the line. He is going to land this lap time on the board in the intermediate tyres. What's it going to be for Just One Ali? Not this time. He's going to head out on another lap. Looks like it could have been invalidated on that previous run. Might have been an out lap, not quite sure. Yellow flag in sector 1 with the Williams just going off wide there. Got a feeling that was that Curves? Yes, it was. Curves just going off out of turn 3. And is making his way through towards the next left, chasing after the AlphaTauris in front. That, of course, being Alex Gillen as well. So already soft tyres being applied to the tyres. It's amazing, actually. 6 minutes flew just like that. We're on to the final 10 minutes. Meraki on top on the intermediate tyres, but now the majority of the cars switching to the softs. So we're about to see some representative laps now.
Yeah, we're starting to get there, and the intermediate championship, I think, is now well and truly over. And Meraki has won it for today, with Liam in 2nd place, and then that guy Vince in 3rd. Surprisingly, only 4th place for Alex Gillen there. Would have expected a bit more from him, but maybe, you know, the intermediate's a bit hard to control. It's difficult to fully maximize it, and you don't want to end up in the wall. You don't want to end up doing what Mr. Dale and Jared Van Heffen have been doing, which is really get eliminated in Q1 just because you're using intermediate tires. So maybe it was just a bit of a safer lap from Alex Gillen, and it was good enough for P4. So if it was, I would not blame him at all for taking that approach. Meanwhile, just when Ali has invalidated, will come into the pits. Alex Gillen is about to start a lap. He's going to be the first car to make it to, I think it might be GB68. No. Or is it? I can't tell. I think, yeah, no, it is. His first sector split is a proper one, with a 32.5, easily purple, by about a second and a half on all these intermediate runners, of course. So it goes to show just how much more grip the soft tyres actually have compared to intermediates in the dry.
Well, you never ever see them, certainly in this circuit of the Jeddah Corniche, as now we're seeing GB68 purple again in the 2nd sector as he now whips his way through this next left. Of course, Aston Martin hailing the arrival of Fernando Alonso, obviously delivering some brilliant results in qualifying today. Front row as well for the Aston, and we'll have to see whether GB68 can pull off yet some more dramatics for the team in green here today, as they now, well, as he now makes his way down through towards the line, and that's first fastest comfortably by 3.6 seconds. So that is a super lap from GB68. Of course, that being George Bowen, first place ahead of Meraki, who is now reduced to P2.
Yeah, I gotta admit, this is already a pretty competitive lap there from GB68. I think that is one with which he can very well already end up heading into Q2, being safe. Obviously, we're going to have to wait, but a 28.6 already looks pretty good. I would expect the cutoff to be in the mid-29s. I'm not sure if that Alex Gillen lap is going to be good enough. The 29.2 there, currently in P2. I think he took it very safely, very cautiously. Meanwhile, I think Safso is going to cross the line in just a moment here. That's a purple first, but only a green middle sector, as his middle sector was taken by Bushy Ants, but Purple in the final sector, and that is P1 28.4. And Bushy Ants is coming across the line as well. Is it going to be P1 for him? Not quite. Misses out by 38 milliseconds behind Safso there, but I think a couple of drivers already making their presence known here quite early on in Q1.
They certainly are. Some of them have also not used the right driver numbers as well, so I will surely be crucifying them later on. Brilliant to see. The Haas there in P6 currently showing up on our telemetry as Infratic, and I know that's not Infratic because Infratic drives a Red Bull. Can you enlighten us who's in P6?
That would be Matty D13.
Matty D13, dearie me, you are in trouble, my friend. Obviously, he will not be. He is not Infratic, folks, so just to make you guys aware. Obviously, I'll see if I can change the text file as time goes on. Hopefully, we can get that amended. Further down, I actually didn't think that Mr. Dale was driving the Aston. I always pictured him as a Red Bull candidate, but no, he is obviously in the Aston Martin this time.
He certainly is, but he's also out of Q1 already, so very unfortunate situation there. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find if we have someone who is just finishing a lap, and I think, no, Matty D13 is heading into the pits. Taco is starting a lap. Razin is going slow. Oh, he invalidated and is now letting cars through. That would be Bushy Ant on his in-lap and Swave. I think either on his in-lap or out-lap. Shouldn't be on a flyer. If he is, that lap would not be good. So, yeah, that's going to be an in-lap indeed.
Now, I could just tell you now, Tiamat Marduk, purple in the first sector. Looking pretty strong as well. Just got my eyes peeled on the man from Australia, who's now settled in mainland UK, as now we see Hayden Gullis going to fourth fastest as well on the soft tyres, but beaten by that guy Vince, who goes fourth fastest too, as now we're seeing more and more cars come through with 5 minutes to go. What's the update, Badgerman?
Safso has retired. However, that happened in the pit lane, so he just feels safe enough. I thought he crashed or something, but no, he just feels safe enough to retire with that lap 28.4, and quite frankly, yeah, he's probably safe. I'd be very surprised if we see 15 cars of the 17 remaining in the session overtake Safso, and GB now retiring as well. Here comes Tiamat Marduk. Middle sector, right on the money. Not better than purple, but good enough. But he lost it in the final sector there. And it's only P3 for the Aussie in the UK now. For the Aussie in the McLaren. So once again, just like earlier today, about an hour and a half ago, once again we have an Aussie in a McLaren on Jeddah doing great work right there. P3 for Tiamat Marduk, and I would also say he is safe at this point.
Yeah, Tom going sixth fastest as well. Super lap from Infratic, who was actually up to fourth fastest until all the laps came trundling in. But great showing from McLaren. Zasso obviously sitting in first. Rasin Chai goes 13th fastest for Alpine as well. But I think Tom will be encouraged by that lap. And look at these deltas as well, Badgerman. Look at them. You just look at the top three, all within a single tenth of a second. And for once, none of them are Alex Gillen.
Yeah, surprisingly, none of them are Alex Gillen. He's currently in P11 and a good 8 tenths off the leaders here. Very surprising to see him in this situation. But at the same time, looking at the cars behind, one, for Alex Gillen, this might still be enough because we already have 2 cars eliminated. That's Van Heffen and Mr. Dale. They are already out. They can't improve, and they didn't set a lap time at all. And that means only 3 more cars are going to be eliminated that are currently still either out on track or in the pit lane. And right now, that's both Williams of Meraki and Kebs, but also Liam in the Haas, with Matty D13 and the other Haas being on the bubble in P15 right now. So those 2 teams not looking too strong. And there's going to have to be some improvements. Meraki, that being said, is on an improvement right now. Kebs is about to finish his lap as well. So both of the Williams looking to get something out of this run here, as Kebs is going to cross the line in just a moment. Lap time's looking okay. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. It's not enough. For Meraki, on the other hand, it might very well be. That first sector, he lost about a 10th and a half to Safso. Middle sector, another half a tenth loss. This could be a 28-6. with a good final sector, even without 28.8 is what he's looking at, which would be P7 right now, ahead of El Tacuman. That is the worst he can be, and he's even better, P4, and he is guaranteed safe.
That's a super lap from Iraqi, a 1:28. Now remember, he was the man who was top in the intermediate side championship too, and is now just outside the 1.5 of a second gap between him and Zafso, who currently occupies top spot here in Q1. Now the timer ticking down, the final 1.5 minutes. We are now into it, folks. Let us know who you think is going to be eliminated in this session. Still plenty of cars to work their way around. Dirk Chocolate about to head around on yet another lap. Not engine saving as far as I can see. Alex Gillen also out and about, currently sat 12th fastest. No doubt be looking to try and go faster here on this lap as well. 1:10 to go as he now flies through the first sector. We'll have to see what he enlists in that first sector as well. It is an improvement, but it's not purple. Plus, well, over 1.5 tenths, approximately just over 17,000 slower than Safso in first place.
Yeah, here comes Matty D13, went up to P11 and pushes down Swave to 16th. Swave himself is on a lap as well, has not invalidated yet through the trickiest part of the track, the first sector. Comes out of it without an invalidation, but 0.02 of a second down. But someone else, hold on. Liam just pushed down Razin, moves up to P10, and that's now Dirk on the bubble.
It does. Alex Gillen not far from said bubble either, 14th fastest. And of course, Gillen, who is already a race winner in this championship, will not want to be certainly knocked out at this sensitive point with 15, well, within 15 seconds, nearly 10 seconds to go here in normal time here in Q1 across the line. Gillen goes 7th fastest, enough for safety here at this point as well. Dirk Chocolate up towards the line. Where can he land it? Oh, that's not good enough. 15th fastest, he could be in jeopardy as Swave is also on the line as well.
Yeah, here comes Swave. However, first sector down 0.02 of a second on his own time. Middle sector lost 0.3. It doesn't look good unless he finds plenty of time in the final sector. I think that might be Swave out of qualifying already, and indeed it is. We have our 5 eliminated drivers, and Dirk Chocolate scrapes by the skin of his teeth. It's Razin Chai, Swave, Curbs, Van Keffen, and Mr. Dale eliminated here in Q1.
Yeah, incredible scene. Safso tops it all. The champion from last season holds top spot here in Q1 in qualifying. Obviously, it doesn't mean a lot just yet. Of course, we're still in the early stages. It's all about driver eliminations. The important thing, stay within or stay outside of the elimination zone. Make sure you get through to the next round of qualifying. Obviously, we've still got Q2 to come. That'll be up next, and then Q3 to decide who will be making up the the order of the top 10. Of course, when we head through towards the race later on. But a great showing from McLaren there, Badgerman. Obviously, Zafso on top, Tim at Marduk third, and Meraki looks on point. Any surprises that you can see in that order?
The biggest surprise to me is Alex Gillen down in 7th. I mean, the grid is close. We have the top 8 in less than 0.4 of a second. So, you know, tiniest mistakes will push you down a couple of places usually. But at the same time, I think Alex Gillen was once again just going for a bit of a safer lap. You know, not going 100%, maybe just 99.5 to make sure that he doesn't end up in the wall. And he makes it through. However, that final lap, surprisingly, it was close. It wasn't entirely necessary based on the final results, but you'd rather be safe than sorry. And Alex Gillen is definitely now safe.
Yeah, well, that's the end of Q1, folks. Safso tops Q1 qualifying with a 1:28.408, and that is well within 0.5 of a second ahead of Bushy Ants. So incredible scenes indeed. Very, very slight gaps in the top 3, all within 1/10 of a second. Meraki outside of that, obviously 4th fastest, GB68 5th. So that's your top 5 in Q1. But more importantly, the eliminations. Obviously, we lost Rasin Chai, and we, of course, lost Swave, Curbs, Van Geffen, as well as Mr. Dale as well. So some shock losses already in that session. I just want to talk a little bit more about tyre deck, really, Badgerman. Obviously, around the Jeddah Corniche circuit, it's quite fraught, given the fact that it's almost a bit of a slalom heading through that sector. Very easy for the tyres to be burned off, and any mistakes can, well, certainly be accounted for and crucified, I suppose.
Yeah, it's very different in the game compared to how it is in real life. In real life, obviously, there was a lot of talk over the last 2 days, 3 days, about how little tire dig there is on the Jeddah Corniche circuit because the tarmac there is very smooth. The tires just don't wear out much at all, which is why actually most analysts expect a one-stop tomorrow for most of the cars in the field. Here, it's a bit different because the game has been programmed a bit different, and I did talk about this briefly on my Twitter, I think yesterday. I don't like it, quite frankly. I would rather it be realistic that the drivers can run one-stops here, potentially on soft, medium, or soft, hard strategies, and are not tied to the one-stop, medium, hard, or a two-stop. But here, yeah, the tire wear in the first sector is incredibly harsh. It does slow down a bit after that because the second and third sectors are not as much slalom as you mentioned compared to the first sector, so it does cool down a bit. You usually use the second half of the lap to cool the tires down a bit and make sure that you limit the steering movements to only as much as you have to. Especially down these straights, you want to straighten these bendy straights, let's call them that. You want to straighten these out as much as possible, not just for shortening the distance that you have to travel, but also to keep the tire temperatures as low as possible.
No, absolutely right. And then obviously, in terms of the strategy, I mean, how does that affect a driver's decision making when it comes to pit stops and sort of mapping out the perfect strategy?
The track is the track, so where you heat up the tires it doesn't affect it that much. What affects it more is that, is the difference between the tires. And if I just check really quickly on my little database, yeah, the difference between softs and mediums and between mediums and hards is equal parts. It's just under 0.6 of a second. So the hard tire is actually quite viable here. And they give you about 10 laps extra lifespan. The mediums do about 29, 30 laps maximum before you can really just throw them away. Ideally, you wouldn't want to do more than 20 on them, to be honest. And the hard tires do almost 40 laps maximum, which is 80% of the race distance, almost. So, you can go very long on both tires. The question is just, at that point, what is your pace and what is your overtaking ability? Do you go one-stop medium hards? That's a bit more defensive strategy. You have to be good defending, not necessarily good overtaking. Or do you go two-stop soft medium medium or medium soft medium, where you put the soft stint at the end is more determined by when do you expect a safety car to happen. But that would be a more aggressive strategy because you have to pit twice, so you have to put overtakes on cars. You're going to be faster every lap, but that extra pit stop, those extra almost 20 seconds lost in the pit lane, that means you're going to have to put some overtakes on people. And I'm not sure this is the best circuit for overtaking because you have 3 DRS zones here that are back to back to back with 3 detection points. So you really only get 1 overtaking opportunity, which is the main straight. Otherwise, you always leave yourself vulnerable to potential re-overtakes with DRS down the next one.
Yeah, well, Zafso already going fastest. Pleased to report as well, folks, that we managed to make sure that the numbers are now up to scratch. Tim McMahon now fastest. Bushy Ants immediately steals it right from the get-go. Alex Gillen enters the fray and tops the session now as well. 128.798. So going off what you were saying in terms of the strategy, it's either you go aggressive, but the time is pretty much eaten up by pit stops, or you, as GB68 goes fastest of them all as well, or it's a case that you just try and be a little patient, try and conserve that rubber.
Yeah, basically, that's really it. The medium to hard strategy would rely on the tires just a little bit more, that the mediums would, instead of sort of 19, 20 laps, they'd have to do more like 22, 23, maybe 25, and then the hard tires, the rest. Whereas with the soft, medium, medium strategy, the softs would do around 10 and then 20 each for the mediums. It's probably the best distribution. Again, you can adjust based on track position, based on pit rejoin position. Is there a good bubble that you would re-emerge in, where you have clean air after your pit stop, and then you can adjust based on that. But yeah, it really comes down to a load of factors, and it's very, very tricky to determine here. And don't forget safety cars and VSCs. I think in Jeddah, they always play a role. We've had red flags here in the past. In real life, obviously, that is not possible here, unfortunately.
Well, we had Mick Schumacher losing it at turn 10 during qualifying back in 2022, of course, which pretty much corrupted that session. Just having a look at Tom's face while he crossed the line, making his way to the top end with a 128.207. Over 4/10 faster than GB68. A wonderful time for Tom, to say the least, and his reaction utterly priceless. So I hope you all enjoyed that at home as well, just as much as I did, folks. It was special, wasn't it? But yeah, looking forward to this one. I mean, obviously, chance here for Alpine to make a statement. Tom, obviously, a very talented driver, Badgerman. Would you say he hasn't yet been given the opportunity to really show what he's capable of?
I would say he's taken that opportunity from himself more times than not. Not trying to be mean here. It's just that oftentimes he hasn't practiced as much as I think he should, because at the end of the day, you can be as talented as you are. You can be as talented as you can be. If you don't practice, you're gonna make mistakes that are easy to avoid if you do practice. And that's what we sort of see from Tom. He is an incredibly quick driver, not just evidenced by that 28.2 that's topping the timesheets right now, but also evidenced by the fact that he has actually qualified for the F1 Esports Pro Draft in the past. The man knows wheel, I think, is how the young kids say it. And I'm clearly not one of them. But he hasn't practiced enough. He has just taken this very lightly, and I think the bug finally caught him, that now he's sort of motivated. He's like, I want to, give a good account of myself. I want to have a good performance, perform well, and get a good result. And immediately, it clearly pays off.
It certainly does. And don't forget as well, you can have your say as well on social media, folks, at F1 Creator Series. And you can also use hashtag Creator Series as well, should you like to make posts on Twitter, of course, as well. Don't forget as well to leave a follow to this channel to stay up to date for when we go live, as that guy Vince that comes up towards the line, 5th fastest at 128.897. Also let us know in the live chat who you're backing. Harry59, of course, our very special moderator, who's always on the go in our Twitch chat. They're just dropping links there for you guys to check out. Make sure you click on those, and you can find all the social media channels too. Make sure you tell your friends about the Creator Series. I tell you what, a fascinating championship we have in front of us here, just to wet your whistle before we go racing tomorrow. But yes, looking forward to that. But Tom on top, GB68 in second, Alex Gillen in third as well. Plenty of opportunity on the table. TMF Marduk already out on an outlap, as is the one, the only Alex Gillen.
Yeah, and he's not the only one. There's a lot of cars right now on outlaps, and I think a couple cars maybe starting a lap soon. I don't really see much going on the timing screen right now, but there should be soon. I think just when Ali has started a lap and has already invalidated. So forget what I said. Once again, I'm just completely cursing people here. But Dirk, meanwhile, now that is a decent first sector, 32.5. Not quite purple. I think he's just under 3/10 behind that purple first sector from Tom, but he's still the second fastest in the first sector here. Sorry, the third fastest. GB68 was a bit quicker with a 32.3, but he's third fastest so far. In the first sector. Well.
Bold statement from Tom to retire at this point in the session.
Oh no, that is entirely sensible. And honestly, if I was GB, I would probably do the same right now, because I think a 28.6 is also going to be enough to make it into Q3. I think the cutoff will be towards 28.7, 28.8. So Gillen, Bushy Ants, Vince, tricky. Monitor the situation and stay in the pits as long as you can. But for Tom and GB, I think it's safe. Dirk Chocolate goes P3, 28.7. That is a very, very good lap indeed. But immediately gets pushed down by Safso, who goes 28.2 and into P2 as well.
Yep, certainly does indeed. You can see, folks, obviously, if you're joining us here, Tom currently sat on top, Safso in second, GB68 in third as well, Dirk Chocolate also up in the top end. Matty D13 goes into fourth fastest as well, so a cracking effort from him to achieve that too. All the lap times coming in thick and fast. Meraki, though, we haven't seen him yet. Of course, sensational lapper himself. Great racer too, and a victory as well last season when we went racing at Spa-Francorchamps, and did it in great style as well. It was some race, that one at Belgium. Of course, there's very rarely a race in the Creator Series that's boring at the end of the day, Badgerman. We seem to get safety cars everywhere we go in this day and age in the Creator Series.
Yeah, thinking back to all the races that I've commentated of the Creator Series, which I think is all the races bar one, which was the season opener this season, none of them have been boring. So, you know, there's always action going on. You know, I think this is actually, in terms of raw entertainment, this is better than F1 Esports, because we do have a bit of a skill gap between the drivers, but we also have a bit of a, let's call it a racing IQ gap. We have some drivers who are very smart, very cunning. They might not be the very fastest, but they know how to get an advantage through strategy. They know how to get an advantage through battling or not battling. They know how to use the DRS in the best way possible. They might not be the fastest, but they can get their way through other means. And it's really, really interesting to see all of this come together with this lot of drivers who are very diverse in their skill set.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. Liam now up towards the line, obviously flashing the rear light, obviously just to show that he is conserving energy, but heads out on a fast lap on this occasion. Currently sits in or on the bubble, 11th fastest. Will need a big lap here in order to try and get himself out of the elimination zone. He has got Just One Ali for company, as well as El Taco Man. Ferrari could be on the precipice of losing two drivers in one session. Gullis in behind him as well, 14th. He is yet to come out the pits and register a lap time. Infratic is out on track, but still out on his out lap. There's now Liam makes his way through this next left. Very, very fast-flowing circuit here, of course, at the Jeddah Corniche as he comes out of stance through the Alkernish road, heading through turn 14, 15, 16, and 17. A slalom, as I said before, very high speed, and you want to hit every apex you can in order to maximize your pace out of every single corner. Liam, of course, occupying the Haas car, now zipping through the very fast section. Don't want to rumble over the curves far too much as Timoth Marduk retires from the session. Liam now knows that he needs to try and hook it together for the final sector. He's gone green in the first two. Chance here to get himself into the
Here
top
comes
10.
Taco first.
Well, Taco,
28.5 P5. Very good lap. Whether it's enough, we'll see later. Now Liam across the line. A second up on his own time. Could also be a it's a 28.2 P5. And I would say he's safe at this point. I'm not sure about El Taco Man at this point. I'm actually going to have to rescind what I said earlier. A 28.6 might not be enough.
No, well, Bushy Ants has just taken top spot as well away from Alex Gillens. That's dropped the cars further and further down. And Dirk Chocolate, as a response now, 11th fastest. Safso, who obviously retired earlier on, 5th fastest as well. Timoth Marduk still remains in third. But that's an almighty lap from Bushy Ants. Incredible. 2/10 ahead of Alex Gillen. Tom now reduced to P4. Remember, he was on top earlier on in Q2.
And here comes Just One Ali up to P10 with a 28-point Devil. The triple sixes right there. And currently P10, but for how long will that hold, as that guy Vince is about to start a lap. He is on his out lap still. GB68 still out there, starting a lap. Dirk, I think, might be going for one more. Indeed, he is. With 40 seconds left in the session, Payne Gullis out there on an out lap. He's going to have to speed up a little bit. If he wants to start this lap, he should be fine, but it's going to be tricky. We've got Meraki on an out lap. That's going to be really tight in terms of the time left in the session here. He's going to have to speed up a lot. And then we've got Infratic, who has invalidated. So that's a guaranteed P15 for the Red Bull right there. Matty has invalidated. That's a guaranteed elimination for him as well. Leaves Dirk, Vince, and Gullis still out there. Hopefully, potentially, being able to improve. Dirk has invalidated. He is out in Q2.
Well, that guy Vince, green in the first sector. We're seeing him in the bottom right of our picture, folks. So focused. He is literally observing everything on this circuit through the very physical slalom sections, as I alluded to. Bushy Ants currently occupies fastest first and third sectors. Gillen in sector 2. It's getting very tight at the top end. Obviously, Gillen, though, only 2/10 away from Bushy Ants, though that is considered quite a mammoth of a gap as that guy Vince heads through the final corner. What's he going to enlist here? Is it enough for safety? Bear in mind, 13th fastest now. He does get safety. 7th fastest for the AlphaTauri in the final closing minutes here in Q2.
Yeah, that leaves either Hayden Gullis or Meraki as the lost eliminee, or potentially GB68, although Meraki's lap does not look good enough. With a 32.9 in the first sector, that is way off the pace. Hayden Gullis, meanwhile, going green twice. That is a possibility here that he can push down the Williams driver so that we have no Williams in Q3 here. Gullis across the line. Is it enough? It is! P7 and Meraki is out. Or is he? Purple middle sector, what am I seeing?
Well,
no, wait, will he push down GP?
He could do. I tell you what, coming up towards the line, is it enough? No! Not enough!
It is!
It is enough!
It is! 9!
It is!
9! Wow! Where did he take that from that first sector? He was dead! There was no way he was gonna get that lap back, but the middle sector, 28.4, going purple, and then the final sector, that was an absolutely magical lap from Meraki to save himself from elimination. That was incredible.
That was sheer clutch from Meraki, managing to nestle in 9th spot. Obviously, our timing tower didn't update as we were seeing it. It was showing him as out of the session. Bushy Ant's fastest, but we're losing GB68. That's a big shock. Just Swan Ali as well, who was certainly quick. Matty D won 3, as well as Dirk Chocolate in Fratic out as well. Both Red Bulls and both Ferraris, well, nearly both Ferraris. El Taco Man staying in and going through to the next session. A few shocks there, I have to say, Badgerman, but credit to Meraki. A clutch finale towards the end of that qualifying session, just when he needed it most.
He was over 3/10 down on his first lap.
Incredible.
And he gained back 4/10 in the remaining 2 sectors. Somehow. Don't ask me how he did that. I would have to see the lap, and even then I probably couldn't tell you.
He's a magician.
That is incredible. I've never seen someone come back from 3/10 down, over 3/10 down, to still improve a lap. Absolutely remarkable there from Meraki. I thought, when I saw the first sector, I thought, yeah, he wasn't going to be a factor in this. It's all coming down to Gullis. But no, it didn't come down to Gullis. It came down to whether he, Meraki, could beat GB's time, and he did by 1/10.
Incredible scenes indeed. Well, we got the cars now out and about for our final session of qualifying as well, folks. So it's all to play for now. We are coming into the final part of qualifying to decide what order the top 10 will be in heading into the race. Let us know your thoughts, folks. Obviously, it's a pleasure to have you all on board. Looking forward to seeing what's in store for us, obviously, heading into this next session. Let us know, of course, in the live chat as to who's going to take pole position for this qualifying session. The cars are now out on track. We're currently watching Zapso peel his way around the circuit. Tim Marduk out on track as well. Liam also getting an early start. El Taco Man, Alex Gillen as well. Bushy Ants, we want to see from you. Sam Bates is saying Tom P1. Who else? What else do you guys, who do you think is going to take it? Liam Temple has gone for Meraki. He thinks he has got a pole position in him. Who takes pole? Let us know in the live chat right now, folks, and we'll read them out to you.
I honestly have no idea. After that,
come on, lay it on the line,
everything.
Badgerman. Lay it on the line. Who's it going to be?
I'll go with the driver who somehow.
I'll go with the one who's fastest. Brilliant.
who somehow is miraculously even in Q3, but has won the Intermediate Championship early. I'll go with Meraki as well. Exactly what Liam said. And once again, I'm going to try to put a time on it. I'm going to say a 1 minute 27.7.
Well, there you go. So that's the word from Badgerman. F1 Kid says Bushy. Slim Fliss says Tom. Marshall F1 is saying himself. Though I don't see a Marshall in the top 10, but we'll go with it.
There are a couple around the circuit.
Maybe there are a few in the grandstands or the out watching on certainly here in our broadcast.
No, the track marshals.
Oh, the track marshals. Oh, they win every time. They are always winners. But that's incredible. Safso though, purple in the first sector. Of course, many other cars out on their laps, but no one has taken it away from him just yet. Safso leading in the first sector alone, and in what could be a defining race for our current world champion.
It certainly could be, although he doesn't have the purple first sector anymore. That is Tiamat Marduk's now, the purple middle sector as well. Ben is feeling spicy right here. He thinks that this might be his only set of new tires. Wouldn't be surprised if it is. And he's using it already he's putting it to very good use. 32.2 in the first sector, 28.3 in the middle. Those are very, very strong sector times already. This could be a 27 across the line. It is a 27.9 from the Aussie. Remarkable lap here early. But is it too early to use this set of tires? If he has no more set of fresh softs available, this might have been a bad call to go for a lap this strong, this early. Now the others know what they have to aim for, and they might have fresh softs still available.
Well, this is it. I mean, naturally, if a lot of these drivers are using the used softs, obviously they'll have that extra set of unused soft tyres at their disposal as the track gets hotter as well. So Tiamat Marduk, despite being fastest right now and by a comfortable 5.5 tenths, it might not get too comfortable as we get into the latter point of this Q3 qualifying session. Bushy Ants, obviously we know what he can extract. Alex Gillen, we know the history there between him and Tiamat Marduk as well. Meraki, also green in the first sector as you'd expect, but currently sits just under 3 tenths off the top time set by Tiamat Marduk. I can only imagine he is on those old soft set badges.
Yeah, I think everyone is on the old softs. Bushy Ants, Gillen, Safso, Liam. I think all the drivers right now, possibly even Meraki, although his first sector looked very good for used softs. I'd be a bit surprised if that's actually used softs there. He goes 28 through. They could be used still. Let me see if I can maybe check in the telemetry if he has his enabled. That'd be perfect. And yeah, definitely use softs for Meraki, that's for sure. Okay. Tiamat Marduk is in the pit lane right now, and apparently he has another set. Oh no, his telemetry is not public. Okay,
Tom is flying though.
Yeah.
Tom is flying. He's
he is. He is.
Sector, and I'm watching. I've got my beady eyes on the Dutchman, who's currently sat in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to make sure I call him Dutch, because I called him French in my stream the other day, and he told me off for it. He's currently green now in the second sector as well. This could be a chunky time here from Tom as he now whips himself through this next left-hander. Of course, he needs a big exit now, heading down this long straight out of turn 27, past the grandstands, on the right-hand side as well, past the paddock. Where is Tom going to finish? Second fastest. Not a bad lap at all. That's front row. Should he stay there? Oh my God, he says the bottom right. He's in the fight for pole position. Encouraging signs here for the Alpine driver.
He certainly is, but once again the question is, does he have another set of fresh softs? Was this lap posted on a new or a used set? I don't know. I wish I did, but the drivers have, or some drivers have not made their telemetry available to us, so I can't quite tell. But if that's on a used set, he definitely has a chance to get that pole position. If that's on a fresh set, I think he will drop down the order quite quickly and quite rapidly. He'll be a bit like an anchor in water. He will just go down more and more and more over time in the next 5 minutes and spare.
Well, I can tell you that everyone is in the pit lane, bar Tom, who's just set his lap as well, so heading down the pit lane, no doubt. 5 minutes now to go. The warning messages have been fired by race control as now we await for the final runs here in qualifying. Let us know, folks. Obviously, as I said before, who is getting pole position. We're now getting into the nitty-gritty point now where things start to get serious. As I said, don't forget, make sure you follow the channel. Don't forget to check out the Creator Series on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Lots of content firing out. Harry's a very busy boy, not to mention Dirk, and all the creators that are putting out content. Make sure you check them all out as well. They're down in our recommended channel list, both down below here on Twitch and also over on our YouTube channel as well. So make sure you check that out as well. Let us know as well on Twitter what your favorite moment was. You can also take clips from this series that might feature on the social channels. So make sure if you've got a favorite moment or a favorite overtake, a favorite incident, you can clip it from the broadcast or wherever, and make sure you do, because it might well be used on the social media channels as well. Get involved. That's what we want here at the Creator Series. We'll also be issuing the Driver of the Day votes as well. You can do that over on Twitter. Our man Harry in the live chat is going to make that known to you when that comes apparent. Obviously, that'll be later on in the race, but make sure you interact with the channel. Great to have you guys on board. As you can see now, 3 minutes and 30 to go in this session. I'm going to now ask you one more time, Badgerman, who is getting pole position?
I think Meraki, look at that 28.3. That was definitely posted with worn tires. I think he has definitely a new set spare, because all drivers get one new set in Q3. So I stand by what I said earlier. Meraki 27.7. Maybe he'll surprise me and get a 27.6 in, but I think it's going to be Meraki. I think the pace that he has is absolutely incredible around here. And yeah, with 3 minutes left, this is the calm before the storm. I really like this part, because this is where you feel the tension. Who's going to be the first one to move? Who's going to be the first one to drive out of the pits? And I see a Mercedes car. That might be Bushy Ants. Let's see. It is... my screen says Infratic. That's not correct. He's not in a Mercedes. It is Bushy Ants, indeed. My map is playing around again with the names. Interesting. It does that sometimes. But Bushy Ants, first one out on his outlap with 2 minutes 30 remaining in the session. And surely everyone else to follow soon within the next 40 seconds, because you have to make a whole outlap. You can't forget that. You have to make a whole outlap, and you have to then also start your lap in time before the clock hits 0. As we now have Taco out of the pits. We have an AlphaTauri there. We have Temet Marduk and Safso. Tom, everyone, the pits are clearing out right now. Hayden Gullis.
I just want to take this moment to just witness the absolute insanity we've got going on our screen. Tom has decided to put sunglasses on for this final lap of this session. The final runs. The future's bright at Alpine, obviously. He's got to wear shades. Tom is currently occupying a set of shades. Tom being Tom, everybody. Say hello to our favourite Dutch content creator. And there we go. Incredible.
That is what it's like when you're blinded by your own greatness.
Bold claim from yourself there, Badger. Incredible. But Tom, no, I have to tell you, he's a wonderful human being. And I have to say,
very much,
yeah, lights up any event or any room indeed. Tom is a sensation. And I have to tell you, I'm not sure how effective those sunglasses will be in terms of nestling in a pole qualifying lap. But hey, I'd say try anything. Try anything if you want to try and get yourself pole. At the end of the day, he's got to try and chase after Temet Marduk, and that's no easy task.
Yeah, certainly. Meanwhile, we have the first car starting his lap here, his final lap. That is Bushy Ants going through the first sector right now. We'll see what the first sector split is in just a moment as he crosses that first sector split right there. And it's a 32-0. And that is a statement right there already. That is a statement from Bushy Ants. And I'm checking to see if Meraki actually makes it across the line in time. Because he might be missing out. It's 15 seconds. And he's in the final corner, entering the final corner and going wide to get the run out of the final corner. 10 seconds. Oh, this is going to be spicily close. 5-4, and he made it with 3 seconds remaining on the timer. Unbelievable there. Bushy going purple in the middle sector, 28.2 as well. Barely over a minute his lap time on that second sector split through the final corner. Bushy, where is he going to land with that lap time? I reckon it's going to be a 27.7 at least. He might actually end up 27.6 with this.
Well, it's going to be close. Incredible
Wow.
scenes there. A 27.4 from Bushy Ants to light things up here in the closing stages of Q3. Could that be our pole lap, you ask? Well, we'll have to find out, folks. Tim Marduk also out on track as well. Many cars look to land a big blow here towards the end of this session. Tim Marduk yellow in the first two sectors. He will not be improving on his current time. Bushy Ants will be hanging on should it stay like this. Meraki still out and about as well. Alex Gillen still making his way around the circuit too. Tim Marduk comes across the line. El Taco Man goes third fastest. Further back, we've got more cars coming across the line, including that of that guy Vince, who goes second fastest, ahead of Tim Marduk as well. Sapso eighth fastest is Alex Gillen, the other AlphaTauri, goes second fastest. Tim Marduk now dropping to fourth. Tom now goes fifth fastest. Not a bad time at all.
Meraki.
More cars coming, and
Meraki's purple.
He's flying
in the middle sector. He's up on Bushy's time. He's done it.
He's done it. Incredible scenes.
27.3. I underestimated these drivers clearly when I said 27.7. That was good enough for P3 for Alex Gillen. But the 27.3 from Meraki right there. At least I got the pole prediction right. Not quite the time, but that's okay. I'll take 1 out of 2.
Well, that is...
What a lap from Meraki.
That is spectacular, folks. Absolutely incredible. Meraki on pole position for the start of our next Grand Prix. If you had Meraki as your prediction, congratulations. You got it spot on. Bushy Ants in second as well. Alex Gillen third. Liam as well in P4. That guy Vince just in behind. I tell you what, the drama keeps on coming here at the Creator Series. What a wonderful race we have in prospect as well. The Jeddah Corniche circuit certainly will be fast. Lots of overtaking opportunities, DRS zones, you name it, folks. Incidents, you're going to see it all here tonight. Are you at all surprised by that result, Badgerman?
Not by Meraki in P1, and also not by Alex Gillen in P2. That being said, Bushy in P2, Alex Gillen in P3. Liam in P4, though. That, to me, is quite impressive result there. Very surprised to see him that high up. To be fair, I was already a bit surprised to see him in Q3, but to see him in P4 on the grid, that is a fantastic result for him. I think he's very happy about that, as he should be. But there's now 50 laps to deal with, 50 laps to contend with, and 19 other drivers, at least at the start. We'll see how much it will be after lap 31, Meraki in particular. That is his... Once he gets past that, he might very well win. But he needs to survive lap 31. Until then, it's always tricky with him. It is sort of his nemesis lap. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's going to be a crazy race. I know that already. We all know that already. Safety cars, VSCs are going to play into this. And I don't know what's going to happen. If you ask me now to pick a potential winner for this race, I can give you 5 names just off the top of my head without having to look at the telemetry, let alone, anything else. It's anyone's game. Anyone's game
here heading into Jeddah. We're just going to take a short break, folks. Just one little commercial message. We'll be right back very, very short. Well, welcome back, folks, and you join us as we're just seeing the cars make their way around on the formation lap. Of course, the Creator Series brought to you by, of course, the team at Grid Finder, the place where you want to find your league or find a commentator, find a driver, find a league. I'll tell you what, they do everything. They are brilliant. Make sure you check them out as well. Not to mention Sim Racing Centre for all your learning needs. When it comes to this F1 game, you want professionals, you want experts to tell you the way, to teach you the way forward. They're the guys for you. Make sure you check those guys out as well. Big thank you to our partners, both Grid Finder and Sim Racing Centre, for all their support. We're just about to get underway here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and now I'm going to ask you lot to leave. Well, let us know who's winning this race. Of course, plenty of laps to come. 50 laps lie ahead of us here in the Creator Series Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Prediction time, Badgerman. Who's winning this race?
Before I try to predict that, please don't ask our viewers to leave, George.
Don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave. Honestly, you want to watch this. Trust me, you want to watch this. I think the first sector is going to be mental, and we might actually see a safety car on lap 1. That's my first prediction right there. Who's going to win this? My heart wants to say Meraki, because he's been the fastest all day today. This seems to be his circuit, and I would love to see that. But my brain says Alex Gillen, because the man is smart, the man is cunning, the man is quick. Not quite as quick as Meraki and Fushi, but he knows his way around the circuit, he knows his way around the strategy, and he's going to find a way. There's a half spun on the formation lap.
He's a bit
what
early.
am I seeing?
He's a bit early.
It's very early, yeah, it's before the final corner.
Yeah.
Normally we do that on the way to the grid.
Do you think he misunderstood where the actual grid spots were?
Possibly.
it's a possibility.
Meanwhile, Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk got disqualified on the formation lap, I would assume, for making contact with each other.
There you have it, folks. If you want a reminder of the tyres as well, of course, mainly mediums across this circuit. Gillen, as you said, out, as well as Tiamat Marduk. Soft tyres for Tom. He always liked that soft starting strategy. Rasin Chai occupying the soft tyres too. Swave on the mediums. We've, of course, got curbs on the mediums, then 2 cars on soft tyres at the back. That, of course, being Jorrit Jan van Geffen and, of course, Mr. Dale, who starts in the back of the grid as well. Let us know, folks, who you select to win this race. Big hello to everybody in the live chat. We're about to go racing here at Jeddah, here in the Creator Series. Strap yourself in, folks. First light, second light, third light, fourth light, and the fifth light. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Meraki gets a great launch, so does Bushians, but Meraki closes the door to the inside as they head through turns 1 and 2. Running wide there, though. Further back, we saw what looks to be that guy Vince going off the circuit there as they look to try and get back on. Liam and Alex Gillen going side by side as well through turn 4. Heading through this next section they go. Meraki peeling away, already getting strung out. Bushians in behind. Liam in third place. Gillen in fourth.
The big problem is that both Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk are starting this race on cold tyres after they got disqualified from the formation lap. They weren't able to warm up their tyres properly. They started on 68-degree cold tyres, and Tiamat Marduk was causing an absolute carnage, not just in turn 1, but also in turn 4. I've never seen anything like this. I was looking at the sort of back of the grid, the bottom 10 to 12, and it looked like a Tesco's car park out there. And Curbs is out.
Oh, we've already lost Curbs. Curbs now at the back of safety car on lap 150.
I said it.
Well. I tell you what, some things never change. Drama already from the start. I actually saw a little this way from Jorrit Jan van Geffen on my screen. Drama already from the get-go. And Jorrit Jan van Geffen, I think, obviously happy that the safety car has come out early. At the end of the day, Meraki and Bushians were able to peel away immediately, and many of the cars that were caught up in the instance further back were then left behind pretty much. The gaps were so strung out, but now this gives them a chance to get back together now.
Yeah, and for Van Geffen, this is incredibly good. Look at the situation right now. He's on softs. He's gained 12 places on the opening lap, which I don't think I've ever seen in my life. But also, now the whole pack gets back together, and everyone in front is on mediums, and he's on softs. So there's more positions to be gained There's more positions to be had. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jorrit Jan van Geffen in the top 3 by the end of lap 5.
Well, no, not at all. We're just seeing now some reactions from some of the drivers. Obviously, a few of them, I think, are pretty content. I mean, that guy Vince, we're currently seeing at the bottom right of our screen. He currently sits now. Of course, he was right in the midst of that scrap right at the start. Ran out wide out of turn 1. A slight shake of the head. Perhaps looks slightly uncomfortable. I think obviously remonstrating with his chat right now. But running wide of that particular Porsche. If you want to check out Curb's incident, you can see it in the clip that Harry59 has provided in the live chat as well. So be sure to check that out if you want to find out a little bit more as to why that issue, of course, happened. But a big moment nonetheless, Badgerman. Something consistent that we have seen in this series. An early safety car, well, safety cars in general are a common factor here in the Creator Series, but a very early one indeed on the opening lap of the race.
Yeah, and I just watched the incident, and it's painful to watch. he just spun himself out, and he's on medium traction control.
Goodness me!
I don't even know how he did that.
Badgerman, anything is possible. Badgerman, anything's possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a talk with Van Geffen after this race
to get the man some lessons. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. He's the owner of Sim Racing Center as well, and Kev's got to sign up for some lessons with one of the coaches over there. This is unacceptable. Spinning out on medium traction control. My goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of setup he was running, but it can't have been a good one if it's that oversteery.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Big moment to say the least. Well, what we can tell you, folks, as you can see from the timing tower, Meraki P1, Bushians P2, Liam in P3, Alex Gillen currently sits in 4th place, Safso 5th, Chocolate in 6th, of course that being Dirk. Yeah, we are in fact Jan van Geffen currently sits in 7th. We've got El Taco Man in 8th, Dakai Vince in 9th, Matty D13 in 10th. We've got Gullis in 11th, that being Hayden Gullis. Mr. Dale, who's had probably one of the launches of his life, has gone from P20 up to P12.
Yeah, not quite Van Geffen levels of...
Well, I've had an EGO dumper crash. So
okay. Well, radio commentary time then. What I just saw is also quite interesting, which is that apparently Tom received a 5-second penalty, I think, for speeding in the pit lane, but he just served that by pitting again. And now he has a used set of mediums. When I say used, I mean 1 lap under the safety car. So they're basically new. And he's still on another set of mediums right now that is brand new. So he's prepared for the rest of the race. This is not that much of an issue. He'll be able to go to the end. Well, 1 more stop to go to the end. And yeah, he's last right now. But in terms of strategy for Tom, this is not the end of the world. He got rid of the penalty. Mr. Dale and Juswan Ali both have a 5-second penalty, by the way. Which, is for a collision between the 2 under the safety car. So they're not going to be too happy with each other. Juswan Ali has front wing damage. Mr. Dale has no damage as far as I can tell, but he doesn't have telemetry on. And the safety car is now in this lap. The safety car has peeled off into the pit entry now, and Meraki is controlling the field, and it's his decision to go whenever he wants to. Bushians P2, Liam P3, Alex Gillen 4, Safsa 5, Dirk Chocolate 6, Van Geffen on softs, everyone else on mediums, Van Geffen in P7, and here they go for the restart. I'm going to try a George Morgan impression. It's pedal to the metal, go, go, go for the restart. And Meraki got a good launch out of this. Already a 4/10 gap to Bushy. Van Geffen immediately on the front foot there. Overtakes Dirk into turn 1, up to 6th place. He goes. Let me know when you're back into the session, by the way. But Van Geffen already up to P6, hunting down Safso, Alex Gillen, and the top 3 ahead. Meanwhile, Matty is around in turn 4. Falls down the order, down to P17 he goes. He was 9th at the restart. He's now 18th. Behind GB68. Juswan Ali in the pit lane, serving his 5 seconds on the restart, interestingly. Losing a whole bunch of time and getting a front wing change as well. Meraki and Bushians and Liam, the top three, really close together now. No opportunities here yet because no DRS, but certainly, well, I say that, there are opportunities here. Liam using ERS to try to get past before the third sector chicane. Decides against it. Very tricky overtaking spot. Anyway, even at the best of times. And yeah, top. Oh, massive moment there. And Alex Gillen, ever the opportunist, up the inside. Alex Gillen up to P3. Bushy and Meraki side by side for the lead. Who's ahead? Meraki is still ahead.
Well, I'm pleased
to the final corner.
I'm pleased to say that we managed to get the coverage back just as that battle resumed. Alex Gillen now holding on to third. Look at this though, Bushy Ants with a huge charge to take the lead of the race. He's riding the slipstream here of Meraki here on this lap 5 of 50 as Jori Jan van Geffen takes the fastest lap. Outside line as well for Zafso, who goes looking through turns 1 and 2. An enormous squeeze there against that of Liam, heading out there on the first chicane, heading through turn 3 and 4, but it is going to be Liam that holds on to that 4th place.
Yeah, incredible fight there. Zafso really tried hard with that one, but it wasn't quite meant to be. Liam better on the traction on the exit of turn 2, and it worked wonderfully for him. But this is so close right now between the top 8, top 9 who are within 4 seconds of each other. Everyone close. Top 16 are within 7 seconds right now. Tom and Mr. Dale battling over P12. They are 3 wide. For a moment they were. Racing decided that was too much for his heart, and he decided to pull behind them and pull out of that move as Tom has passed Mr. Dale up to P11.
Well, just watching Mr. Dale now, he looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble because look who's behind him, Racing Chai, as they head through this now very majestic section. Of course, it's all a slalom, as I said, in qualifying, but taking a wider line there, Mr. Dale, that's not ideal. Racing Chai might fancy his chances. Further back as well, another duel happening as well. Jori Jan van Geffen getting up into 5th. Could there be a late send here? Look at this as well. Tiamat Marduk already now looking to try and put the pressure on. Of course, Infrati that's ahead of him. This will offer a great chance for Tiamat Marduk to gain some places. Into the pits goes Mr. Dale. Now Tom sets the fastest lap, immediately stolen by Tiamat Marduk as they now make their way towards turns 1 and turns 2, but Tiamat Marduk unable to gain the places. He has gained a spot due to pit stops, but a huge moment for Mr. Dale, and now I think he needs a wing change.
Yeah, he very well might, and Mr. Dale in the pits there, serving his 5-second penalty as well, and getting rid of that. But meanwhile, we still have the battle for the lead going on. Meraki, Bushians, Alison Van Heffen now up to P4 already. Got past Liam and Zafso, so he's really, really flying through the field. Question is how much longer. Those soft tires, they don't last much longer than 15 laps. And yes, we had 3 under the safety car, which you can generally say 3 under the safety car is like 1 proper racing lap. So they can go about 17 laps now, but that means just another 11 laps. At some point he's going to have to hope for another safety car, or he's going to have to pit for mediums and do that under green flag conditions and lose a whole bunch of time, and then try to fight back all of that time and be out of sync with everyone else, which might not be the worst thing at the end of the day.
No, not at all. Alex Gillen getting closer and closer to the top 2. Ran a little wide though, around the final corner. And Jori Jan van Geffen, who has been rapid on those soft tyres, inside line against the paddock side, gets himself into 3rd place as well with the DRS opened up through turn 1. The Alfa Romeo now sits in 3rd place, chasing after Bushy Ants, who is hot on the tail of Meraki for the race lead.
Yeah, 19th to 3rd for Van Heffen here. He started in P19, absolutely incredible stuff, and now he's just over half a second away from the leader and challenging those 2 drivers in front as well. But again, he's gonna have to make quick work of them, try to, get a bit of a gap going as well against them and drive away over a second so that there's no DRS danger. And then he might be in a better position to pit. Right now, if he were to pit, he'd be right behind Swaven P16. You lose about 18.5 to 19 seconds here from a pit stop. as you re-emerge, and that doesn't include the tire warm-up that you're going to have to go through in the first and second sector here. So, yeah, he would be behind Swave, lose a bit of time, be able to warm up his tires well, but then he would have to make the move. But that is all in the future. Here is the present, and Jan van Geffen wants to make himself a present by overtaking Bushy Ants and Meraki. He's not able to do so just yet, but down the main straight, maybe there's an opportunity there. He uses all of his battery. He is on such a disadvantage in terms of battery, and here comes Bushy now potentially for the lead. Round the outside. Oh no, not quite. Oh, and there, Van Geffen! The opportunity round the outside. That was beautiful, but it's not enough.
Not quite enough indeed. Remains in third place. It looked like the door might have been forced open there by Bushians, who of course tried to make a move on Meraki, who I have to say defended exceptionally well heading in towards turn one. Then moved his car over to the inside to try and deflect any sort of approach there from Bushians, who has certainly been better on those medium tyres in this initial 8-lap stint. But still, you're Jan van Geffen, you'd be a fool to write him off. He's used these soft tyres brilliantly, managed to masquerade his way right through to P3 off the back of the safety car that we had at the very start.
Oh.
Green flags being waved. What's the update, Badgerman?
Hayden Gullis involved in this. He was around. I can't see whether he has any damage. I'm trying to see on the screen. It doesn't look like he has any damage, but he was around, and he has dropped down to P14. That was the yellow flag, but it's gone again. And we're back to green flag racing across the whole circuit.
Absolutely. Well, the racing still continues up at the sharp end. Meraki going defensive still as Jorik Jan van Geffen now with the Tiger line through this next left. 2 for the price of 1 here as they work their way through the final corner. Rutanius is round. Rutanius, no he's not, just stayed on. Looks like he lost the car, but barely held it together as now he's under attack. Alex Gillen now through towards the inside, towards turn 1. Weaves left, weaves right, can't find a way through. Van Geffen defending superbly after what looked to be an incredible moment. I could have seen him miss out on holding on to any sort of advantage. Meraki though leading the way. We've got an issue I think with our certainly our overlays, which are currently trying to sort themselves out. Not sure what's happening, but a crazy moment for sure as we still continue to go racing.
Yeah, we certainly do. It's all kicking off there at the front, and this is what you would expect. We have a yellow flag meanwhile, and we have a virtual safety car. Not a full, just a virtual safety car right now. I don't know for who. Don't know who was around there, but it's all sorted itself out again. Virtual safety car. This might be the opportunity for Van Geffen to pit and potentially be ahead of Matty D13 and Hayden Gullis, maybe. I don't. No, they're too close. They're too close. So I don't think that's going to happen. But ahead of Swave for sure. Ahead of Swave guaranteed.
Well, a big moment indeed.
If he pits.
Yeah, under the VSC conditions now, obviously this is quite helter-skelter, given the fact that we've had quite some race already. But yeah, incredible. But great to see them. Certainly all out in force. Plenty of overtaking already. Battles at the sharp end as well, Badgerman. We see lots of them.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's all kicking off between the top 3 there. Oh, and look at Meraki. He's slowing down the whole field to make sure that Van Geffen can't pit. And Van Geffen has to stay out. Oh, Meraki, you absolute fox.
Incredible scenes indeed. Big move indeed. So we're now looking to try and bring the action back. Do apologise, folks. We are getting to the bottom of it, I can assure you. But yes, we are back and underway. Thank the Lord. We are indeed back. Yes, as you can see, the business end is certainly getting a bit hectic. There you can see Meraki still leading the way. Just barely. It's been quite fractious up at the sharp end, but we did say Rutanius, who did not have the opportunity to box, closed off and now has to remain out another lap. The question is, are those soft tyres going to die off here, Badgerman?
Surely soon. There is not much more left in them. That VSC may have bought those soft tyres about maybe half a lap worth of wear, but they're going to die very, very soon. I think right now is the point where the soft tyres are probably at the same pace as those medium tyres around him. Meanwhile, Tom has gotten a drive-through penalty for speeding on the virtual safety car. That's why I said, oh, Tom. That's a rookie mistake right there from a guy who definitely is not a rookie. That cannot happen. And it shouldn't hurt him that much, but look at this, he's P7 and in the battle right now. As here goes Van Heffen around the outside of Bushy up to P2 for now. Can he keep it? Yes, he can, and challenge Meraki for the lead potentially as well. He's gonna try. Oh, up the inside. No, it's not quite there.
Not quite. We will be bringing you the action, folks, as we now look to try and revive our overlays. Unfortunately, it turned off the sim hub just now, which was a shocker, and so it's been one thing after another. We've gone from the game crashing to now sim hub. Also decided that it wants to act up. It's a comedy of errors, really, at this point, folks. But sit tight.
Meanwhile, Van Heffen absolutely pulling a gap here on Meraki and Bushy Anson, the whole rest of the field. Gap is now 0.7 of a second. That is incredible. I mean, I've not seen something like this. And Meraki, for those of you who might be wondering, Meraki has no wing damage or anything. He's got no damage. And yet Van Heffen is able to pull this kind of a gap on him just in the first sector, as we have, I think that is Taco around in P14, P15 now. He spun in turns 9 and 10. And he has rejoined the circuit on his hard tyres, 10-lap old hard tyres. He pitted lap 1, I think, for... I'm not sure if he pitted for damage, but yeah, he's struggling right now, and he's battling with Razin Chai and with his teammate Justwan Ali. Is he going to let him through? Yeah, he is. So Taco dropping down to P17 as Van Heffen. Oh, there's more going on at the front. Look at this, the top 8, top 9 are all on the same straight here. This is madness. And here goes Meraki around the outside, back into the lead, and Van Heffen, he didn't even fight it. He wasn't interested in that.
No, he didn't. He actually, I tell you what, held on to the position. Sorry about the loss of coverage, folks. We've got it back. Comedy of errors, to apologise, but we are back with the action as quickly as we could. Incredible scenes. Meraki leads the way. Van Heffen now down into second. Bushy Anson third, of course. Remember, Van Heffen still out on the soft tyres on lap 12 and 50. Further down, Gillen, who's currently occupying fourth, battling away. Tom also in the mix, but has a drive-through, which is not going to help him. With Liam now in sixes. Now it looks like Van Heffen's going to go for the lead of the race. Once again, these two have been swapping the lead time and time again. The Alfa Romeo now looking to take a wider outside line there, an aggressive line, in order to try and swoop in past Meraki, who immediately shuts the door. Big dramatic moment still continuing since the race start. A train here developed by the Williams that is now looking to be usurped here by Mercedes, as well as Alex Gillen in behind. Gillen now charging as he now looks to go side by side with that of Bushy Ants through the fast left and right. They are, they've been collided. Big moment, big collision, and that is Van Heffen around, and as is Alex Gillen as well. 3 cars colliding through that fast section. Never going too wide to risk. 3 wide is a no-hoper.
Oh, and Van Heffen spins again, hits the rear wing on the wall. Oh, that might be significant rear wing damage there for Van Heffen. Unbelievable. Still a yellow flag as he gets going again. Oh no, oh no, oh no. His rear tires are absolutely screaming from the heat right now. 105 degrees, 106, and he's in the wall.
He's not happy.
He's lost his front wing as well. He is still going. And there's a safety car.
Safety car as well. He's lost it.
That saves him in a way. It saves him in a way. But his rear wing is still damaged. Probably. Oh, and a double stack for the Alfa Romeos as well. A Swave pulls into the pits at the last moment there. Oh, it's gone from bad to worse. And yeah, I understand what Gareth is saying in the chat. I think it's probably best for us not to try to lip read Jorrit Jan van Heffen right now, because yeah, I don't think that would be suitable for this broadcast.
No, not at all. Very, very controversial scenes, obviously, at this point during the race. Meraki has still managed to hold on. I'm not, I tell you what, I mean, it was going to get very tight. They've been aggressively battling right through since the start of this race. A huge moment. Currently, though, Meraki holding on to the lead as he has done a sterling defensive effort. Obviously, he wasn't anything really to do with that opening crash, really, heading through that fast left and right, because he wasn't really made up of that battle. Obviously, Alex Gillen was in the mix. There were other cars as well. I think it might have been Bushy Ants as well, who currently occupies second.
No, it was right behind. It was Van Heffen and Alex Gillen, who were fighting over third at the time, who came together there. And I think Liam may have either been involved or just got past it. But he certainly was there to watch it at the very least. Tom was involved, was able to serve his drive-through before the safety car came out, so very lucky actually for Tom. Just, I was a bit wondering why he stayed out that long with that drive-through, because at the end of the day, you don't want to stay out with the drive-through in case there's another safety car. You know, if that safety car comes out, your laps stay the same that you can use to serve the drive-through, which is, well, 3 minus however many you've done since you got the penalty. But, you know, your laps don't increase back to 3 anymore. If the amount of laps you have to serve the penalty is 1, but you then have to follow the safety car into the pit lane to serve your drive-through on the restart, and that is painful. So he got it done before the safety car came out, so he's down to 9, but now he's still back in the mix.
Well, he is still in the mix. I mean, it's not over yet. I mean, we've had more safety cars than this in the past in previous races. This, of course, only being the second one. So don't count yourself out. At the end of the day, any driver in amongst this whole conglomerate that we have here, of course, 19 cars still remain racing here in this Creator Series Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. There are still chances for everybody. Bushy Ants now leads the way. Liam in second. If you want a reminder of our current updated list, there it is, folks. Zapso as well, current champion in third with his teammate, Timoet Marduk. I tell you what, look at the Red Bulls as well. Dirk Chocolate in fifth with Infratic alongside him. They've had a wonderful start. Obviously still yet to box off those medium tyres, but it's not a bad place to be in terms of track position.
It certainly isn't, and I just realised it's a very interesting sort of order that we have in the top 8. The top 8 are framed by the Mercedes, Bushy Ants P1, Gullus P8, which inside that sandwich are the Haas, and then we've sort of got a double layer of McLaren and Red Bull in between. So the top 8 are made up of 4 teams exactly, which is not something you see very often, not even in real F1 do you see that very often. But obviously there are bigger gaps between the cars' abilities, and not so much between the drivers, but yeah, very interesting to see. And certainly Dirk and Infratic are living life right now, and P5 and P6 there. But so are Safson and Timoet Marduk. However, don't underestimate Meraki in P10. He just pitted for the hard tyre. The reason why he did that is that hard tyre can now make it to the end of the race without having to pit again.
No, absolutely right. Safety car still out as well. Bernd Mailander getting his certainly getting himself out and about inside that safety car. Of course, Mercedes AMG powered as well. Further back, Bushy Ants just clocking every move. Just getting ready, of course, for the restart of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Liam in second, Zafso just in behind as well. Getting quite close and personal with Liam's Haas. I'm sure that rear wing will see plenty of McLaren very soon. Of course, Meraki has already made the jump. He has already boxed. If you want to see the current tyre change list, folks, Tom has changed tyres. Technically, you could argue that Tom is the net leader of this race. Currently has the tyre change on the board. Currently sat in 9th, obviously boxed. Meraki
no,
just
technically Timoet Marduk is the leader of this race because he also had a tyre change already on lap 1.
Well, that hasn't showed up on my data. How criminal is that? There we go. So a tyre change there for Timoet Marduk. As you can see there, folks, we have got the positions won and lost as well. You can see there, 1 up for Bushy Ants, 2 up for Liam as well. One of the biggest gainers is in fact, well, 2 of them are the 2 Red Bulls, Dirk Chocolate and Infratic, both at 9 places apiece. They currently lead the most overtakes in this race so far, so congratulations to them on that. And there you can see in terms of the tyre changes, but obviously Badgerman has alluded to us that Timoet Marduk has indeed stopped, so effectively your net leader is Benjamin Daly.
Yeah, that being said, I don't know who the net leader really is. It's way too early to tell. I'd say Bushy Ants at this point because, yeah, he hasn't pitted yet, but Timoet Marduk will not be able to make it to the end on these tyres, that's for sure. So in that regard, I guess the net leader might be Meraki. because the hard tyres can make it. It's tricky to tell. If there's another safety car, things will change again as here we go for the restart.
Yeah, pedal to the metal for the third time in this Grand Prix now. Bushian still leads. Further back, the two McLarens still coming together. Bushian's now through turns 1 and 2 in the Mercedes will take them round here as we're back under green flag conditions in this Saudi Arabian race. Liam in second, currently occupies approximately a 2.5 of a second gap. In behind that of the Mercedes with Zafso, not too far behind either, but Bushian's keen to cement somewhat of a gap between him and his counterparts behind. Now sees himself drift out another 10th in front as Liam looks to try and pull it back. Zafso in third, Tim and Marnock in fourth. Further back, a 3-second time penalty for Mr. Dale as well. That certainly won't help his cause.
Yeah, certainly won't. Penalties are so crucial here around this circuit, and if you stay free of any penalties, then you set yourself up very well for the final result. That being said, the fact that that's the first or the only driver so far is Mr. Dale with penalties. Yes, he's on 6 seconds already, but he's the only driver with penalties so far that aren't servable, like a 5-second or a drive-through. Again, we had a couple of those, but you know, that is surprising to me because this is Jeddah. And it is a circuit where, especially in the first sector, you can get plenty of penalties in just one lap.
Well, Meraki now holding on to 9th place has dispatched Hayden Gullis as well. That guy Vince might choose to open up as well on Hayden Gullis as they head down the straight now. And look at this, you do have to wonder now whether the hard tyres are starting to come into their own, because that guy Vince starting to get closer and closer. It's certainly getting closer between those two now. Matty D13 as well, looking to try and overtake Infratic, who's ahead of him too, as they peel out through the first sector. Of course, lots of opportunities here for overtakes, certainly with the DRS opened up. There we can see further back Tom in 8th as well, just charting every movement that the Haas makes. That being Matty D13 currently sat in 7th. Further down is Meraki, who, as I said before, dispatched Hayden Gullis. He's now 1.1 seconds though in behind Tom. Maybe those hard tyres haven't quite cooked up a storm like he was expecting at the restart here. But Bushian's now advancing his cause, 6/10 clear, and it's getting closer between the two McLarens.
Yeah, it is. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the tyre data for Meraki, and thankfully does have his telemetry enabled, so I can actually see the situation with his, well, tyre temperatures I can see for everyone, but his tyre wear obviously very low. Every lap it's very low indeed. But I'm also looking ahead on all the medium runners. Meraki is at around 5% of tyre wear right now after these 3 laps, most of which run in the safety car. The medium runners are at 35 to 40% right now as Tiamada goes for the move on Liam and does it successfully into the final corner.
Yeah, well, goodness me, that guy Vince, who's very nearly a 3-wide affair, but Hayden Gullis losing out against 2 AlphaTauris. It was like gang warfare heading through that final sector, but certainly he got mugged by that guy Vince, and also swooping in Alex Gillen, who took full advantage, and now Gillen going for the move on his teammate into turn 1. In comes the Alpine as well, and Marasin Chai moves himself further up ahead of Hayden Gullis as now Alex Gillen and that guy Vince come together. Gillen now in the top 10. A massive moment here in lap 18.
Yeah, we went back to the tyres with Meraki and all the medium runners. The difference between those pretty fresh hards and all those very used medium tyres, who I think all of them will have to pit within the next 10 to 12 laps, as Swave is around in turn 10. Causing a yellow flag right now, but he can still go. Trying to see if he has any damage. He does not have any damage whatsoever on the car. Just got spun or has spun himself, but otherwise he is fine. But once again, tyre wear. I would say right now Meraki has an advantage in terms of lap time compared to the cars in front of probably 4 or 5 tenths a lap. And because he's on the harder compound, that advantage increases with every single waning lap.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's getting closer as well in this midfield fight. So currently looking at the likes of Rasin Chai, who's going to get himself over to the mix. Tom as well, who's right on the tail of it. Fratic heading through the final corner as well at turn 27, and might choose to make a move here with the DRS opened up And certainly Infratic also looking to make moves himself as they now make their way down past Matty D13 in towards turn 1. And a super move there from Infratic to get himself into P6 as well. Look at Tom also trying to get himself into the mix as well. Further down there, he certainly does pull through, and Matty now down into 8th place and now being charged upon by Meraki, who currently holds on to 9th.
Yeah, Meraki still there at P9, but he has to make some moves, and he has to make them soon. Right now, this is not good for him to be stuck in this kind of traffic right now, but with Infratic in P6, seemingly the cork in the bottle of this group here that spans from P6 all the way down to P10 to Alex Gillen. There is an opportunity here, once he gets closer to Infratic, Tom and Matty, to make some overtakes happen and get past those cars in front right now and get up to 6th place. And apparently we get info from Harry right now that Swave was taken out by Jorrit Van Heffen. And I'm going to check the clip right now to see what exactly happened.
Well, Tom also trying to make moves on Infratic. Now, these two dispatched Matty D13 earlier on. Of course, it got very tight between that pairing as well as they now peel through this next section of curves now, as we now see Tom with the outside line here. Past Infratic, he dances. A super move indeed, and now rounds through turn 27. Holds on now to that advantage of P6, but has a mighty gap to find on the other Red Bull of Dirk Chocolate. But Infratic with the DRS now looks to try and take it back again as they head through turn 1. A switchback of dreams from Infratic, a little tap of contact, and Infratic, by the skin of his teeth, hanging on. A little bit of grip loss for Tom as well as they head out of turn 1 and turn 2. Wheel to wheel they remain on the outside of turn 4. The Alpine with the inside line, the better line, and he holds P6 as well. An incredible moment, I have to tell you. The switchback from Infratic was just sheerly sensational. A great moment indeed.
Yeah, that was textbook right there. And Infratic actually ahead now. I think Tom just let him through. Did I just see that correctly?
I think he did.
Just let him through.
He did. Absolutely.
I don't know why, but interesting call there. As Meraki is struggling on these hard tires now through that chicane. Has to go off the track, and there goes Alex Gillen, immediately taking that opportunity handed to him. And he says, thank you very much for that position. Alex Gillen now up to P8. Both of those drivers, remember, they're on the hard tires. And they just pitted 6 laps ago. They can both go to the end. And they're effectively, I would say, still the net leaders right now.
Yeah, we're just seeing this beautiful camera footage here now as Tom looks to go down the inside on Infratic again, heading through the final corner. Enter Alex Gillen as well, who looks to try and bring himself into the mix. Side by side between the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri. The sister cars now not working together, but instead Alex Gillen looking to take advantage. Meraki also trying to get in as well. This is pure box office gold here as down the inside they go. An incredible moment as Infratic and Tom come together again. Outside of turn 2. Turn 3 up next. It is still Infratic that keeps back Alex Gillen, but Tom now works his way through into P5.
I think I understand what Tom's idea is. He knows that he's faster. Oh, Liam's out.
Goodness me, Liam's out as well. A safety car again.
Yeah, that is on the exit of turn 10.
That's Mick Schumacher-esque.
Yeah, that is guaranteed a safety car. And that bails out the top 5 right now because they have to pit desperately for new tires, and they will go for the hards, I reckon. P6 and P7, Alex Gillen and Meraki will take the lead of this race. That being said, Tam McMahon might go for mediums. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Mediums or hards, that's his dilemma now because he already used soft tires on the first lap. Then he pitted on lap 1. But he's already done 2 different compounds. Bushy, Dirk, and Infratic cannot use medium tires unless they want to guarantee themselves another pit stop, which is not what you want to do in this situation.
Well,
Tom could also go for mediums.
On mere rubber alone, that surely puts Team Marduk in a very good position as things stand. I mean, just look at this now. Bushy Ants coming into the pits. Of course, those medium tyres about to be changed now. Further back, of course, Meraki, who's already boxed on the hards, he probably will likely choose to remain out. As we're now seeing the cars now.
Mediums for Tim and Marduk.
And Meraki I believe, yes, he's staying out. Meraki and Alex Gillen. So Gillen now takes the lead of the race. Meraki in second. And indeed, Tim and Marduk in the pits, comes out of the pits, as you say, on the medium tyres. So there we go.
And Tom on mediums as well. Dirk Chocolate going for softs.
Interesting call from the Red Bull.
He's betting on another safety car soon.
Goodness me.
That's the only explanation I have for that. He's saying, you know what, they're probably going to crash again. And quite frankly, it's a bit risky. I wouldn't have done it, but I kind of see where he's coming from. This is the third safety car we've had so far this race. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that he went for that. Again, I wouldn't have done it, but I'd say it's a valid attempt. You know, if there's another safety car, all of a sudden, you know, you can make up positions now on those soft tyres compared to the mediums. He should be able to overtake Tom, maybe Safsa and Tim Marduk, definitely Bushy Ants. I know Bushy's quick, but the gap between the softs and the hards in fresh condition is 1.2 seconds. Well, I don't think Bushy is that much faster than Dirk.
The big question is, though, Badgerman, I mean, looking at this point in time, obviously those that are on the medium tyres, we're still not yet to the halfway point of the race.
Yeah.
Can you see them lasting the length of this race now, or are they going to have to box again, potentially onto a set of softs or whatever they have left?
No, they will barely last. They will last. They are supposed to do about 30 laps, and as you can see, it's 28 laps remaining at the end of this one. Plus, at least the next lap will be under the safety car, possibly one more. So, you know, they're going to have 27 laps, maybe 26 laps remaining. The tires will just make it. And when I say that, I mean they will just make it. But for the first 15 to 20 laps of this remaining part of the race, they'll be quicker than the hards. So I still think the mediums are the best choice right now. Obviously, Bushy Ants was not able to go onto mediums because he started on mediums and hasn't used another. Well, he could have gone on to mediums to guarantee himself another pit stop. That wouldn't have been smart. And that is, by the way, something that Safso, Matty D, and Infratic and Hayden Gullis have done. All four of those drivers are yet to pit again. Safso in P7, Matty D in P10, Infratic in P12, Hayden Gullis in P14. All guaranteed to pit again because they have to fulfill the 2 compound rule. Now, I think Bushy did it smarter. If there's no more safety cars, those hard tyres are better than mediums and pitting again. Well, but if there is another safety car, I think they're all going to come in anyway.
Yeah, I'd imagine they will. I mean, there is confirmation. We have got confirmation. Thank you, Harry, of course, in the live chat. Jorrit Jan van Geffen does have rear wing damage.
Yeah.
So there we are. That is the confirmation. So obviously that will massively affect him.
Yeah, what I would hope for Van Herfen is that he has thought of, you know, mitigating the issue a bit. The way you do this, and this is, by the way, for all of you watching right now, if you play F1 22, this is something that you can use in your races if you have simulation damage on. If you do get rear wing damage, go to the pits at some point, doesn't have to be immediately, but go to the pits and turn down your front wing by a couple of notches. Depends on how much damage you have. If you have just light rear wing damage, 1 or 2 clicks will do, just to keep the balance of the car pretty equal, that it doesn't become oversteering. Because if you get rear wing damage and don't mitigate the issue, the car will become very, very oversteering with very little damage already. So, a couple of notches down on the front wing, it will make you a bit faster in the straight line, but also not as much to completely help you out. But that is one way to do it. I hope Van Herfen has done that. I can't check, but yeah, I hope he has.
The safety car now peeling into the pit lane now, as we now see Alex Gillen send it again here, and once again, and for the 3rd time of asking, we'll certainly put pedal to the metal. For the 4th time, we'll put pedal to the metal here in this race, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's getting busy there down the bottom end though, as the McLarens of Zafso and Tim and Marduk come together on the restart. Look at this as well from Tom, who is also trying to surge forward as they now peel on through. Bushy Ants in 5th, trying to close down on old Taco Man, who is under an increasing amount of pressure from the Mercedes in behind. Look at this as well. GV86, where has he come from? third place and closing on Meraki here on lap 24.
Yeah, he stayed out during that last safety car because he had already pitted for those medium tires 11 laps ago. So he said, you know what, this is fine for me. He still got halved, but only 3 laps
Marduk's round.
Yeah, Tim Marduk is around, and Tom as well. 2 cars around, and I can't see if he has any damage on that front wing. It doesn't look like it, but certainly lost a whole bunch of positions there. And Tom as well, very unfortunate for those 2.
Certainly did. Now watching GB68 make his way through the fast left and right part of this circuit now. Tom is devastated, just looking on his camera right now. He cannot believe what's happened. But here now at the front end, GB68 looking to try and close the gap on Meraki, but he has got a probing El Taco man who is also looking to try and achieve big things for the Scuderia as they now head through the final corner at turn 27. Gillen has advanced a 1.8 second advantage, which has now increased to 2.7. Look at this as well. GB68 with the DRS very soon, I'm sure, will look to try and gamble on Meraki later on as the fastest lap is immediately stolen by El Taco Man.
Yeah, and for good reason once again. He has started the race on hard tyres, 12 laps. He's gone on to mediums. He will not be making it to the end. He didn't pit this time around. Maybe he should have, but he stayed out and he's now in P4, battling with GB68 and Meraki here over a P2, with Bushy right behind as well, who is looking to go the distance from here, as are Alex Gillen and Meraki, and possibly a couple of other cars. Safso, Matty D, Vince, Hayden Gullis, Infratic, all looking to go to the end. Just Juswan Ali as well, and Razin Chai, and a couple of more down the order too. But yeah, Tim Marduk is actually pitted for hard tyres now. And that was not just a pit stop for hard tyres, that was also a pit stop with a front wing change. So he did actually suffer damage, it just wasn't very visible on my screen here, on my screen here. But he has actually changed his front wing.
Well, it's a no-win situation because if the safety car comes out now, he might be in a little bit of trouble, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got a huge squabble happening further down as well. Look at this, between the McLaren of Zafso and further back behind them too, Dirk Chocolate on the soft tyres, trying to maximise, of course, their abilities here in the laps since we had the safety car, the sensitive initial laps since the last safety car, as now Dirk looks now to send it down the inside of turn 1, defending at the same time as well from that guy Vince, and they get so close to touching, but on the outset, Dirk Chocolate ahead now of Matty D13, a great overtake, and took full advantage as well.
That was an incredible exit out of turn 2 from Dirk. Set the car perfectly for the exit of that chicane, and was on the throttle much earlier than Matty D and that guy Vince could be. Those soft tyres used to perfection.
Yeah, they were used for to perfection. That's exactly what they're for. They are for pace. Dirk looking now, Dirk Chocolate to usurp everybody ahead of him in this field. A yellow flag again. Oh, it's Hayden Gullis. Infratic's out as well. Gullis is round. Infratic's out. A safety car again here in this race.
Hayden Gullis deemed at fault by the FIA, by the stewards here. Gets a 5-second penalty for that collision with Infratic. I hope we get a clip by Harry soon to see what exactly was going on. They're pretty sure it was visible on Hayden Gullis's stream. I don't know if Infratic is live. I would assume he is as well. Maybe we can see both perspectives. That would be awesome. But another safety car. And the question in the chat, is safety car on increase by any chance? Let me check just to make sure. Yes, and just to make it more fun, it is. Well, it is on increase, and this is the 4th safety car period.
We love drama at the Creator Series, and it delivers time and time again. Any cars coming in the pits? Yes, El Taco Man ventures in. I actually thought he was extremely good on our last safety car restart. Big shame for Infratic, who looked like he had some modest pace around this track. Certainly when we were looking at practice sessions prior to this stream, of course. But unfortunately for him, he is out of the race, and that brings our grand total to 3 cars out of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. He will join Liam and Curbs, who are also unfortunate fatalities in this race as well. Incredible to see. Obviously, all this drama happening And we're around the halfway point now. Alex Gillen leading the way. Meraki in second. Now, I think if you're Alex Gillen, you're a little disappointed because he had advanced a mega lead prior to the safety car, and it's now all been swallowed up as Meraki is only 2/10 away now.
Yeah, and I just checked the crash between Hayden Gullis and Infratic. What happened was Infratic he was behind Hayden, gave him a little nudge through turn 11, through the long left-hander. Was it turn 12? You tell me. I always get mixed up with the corner numbers here.
It's outside of turn 13, that one. The
13 is the long
hairpin.
left-hander.
The hairpin.
Hairpin, yeah. Okay, the long hairpin. Okay, turn 13 that is. So, yeah, Fabio touches the rear of Hayden Gullis slightly, but that makes the car of Hayden Gullis unstable enough to start a spin, to initiate a spin. Infratic tries to get around it, slightly touches that Mercedes. That only gave Fabio front wing damage. And then he rolls into the barrier at a whopping 21 kilometers an hour. Not 121. No. 21 kilometers an hour. And it's enough to take off his left front wheel and he's out of the race. I've not seen a crash that slow actually end the driver's race. If I was Fabio, I'd be livid right now at the game. But at the end of the day, the lobby is set to standard damage and standard damage rate. This is not simulation damage. And he retired with 21 kilometers an hour impact.
I'll say it again, Badgerman. Anything is possible at the Creator Series. That's all I will say.
True.
That is honestly the statement I am going to literally engrave on this series. Anything can happen. It's the
slogan at this point.
It is the slogan. That's exactly right. So there we go. You come here at your own risk. And at the end of the day, plenty of these drivers have risked a lot sitting here alone in this Saudi Arabian race. The one driver who has survived near enough every safety car and has remained near the top is Meraki. Astonishing performance so far from this man. Obviously, you remember he took a sensational pole position, very nearly evicted out of Q2 as well. Managed to pull together a clutch lap that would get him 9th in that classification in Q2, then taking pole in the session after. I tell you what, in terms of a driver's performance through quali and through the race that we've currently seen up to now, it's just been a sensational Meraki performance, I think.
It certainly has, and he pitted exactly at the right time, going for those hard tyres during, I think, what was the second or third hit. I get mixed up at this point with how many safety cars we've had. But during one of the safety cars, pitted for hards, dropped down to P10 at the time, and it was the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, because he can now go to the end. Most of the other cars cannot. GB68 yet to pit again. Those mediums will not last. Safzo hasn't used another compound other than the mediums. He has to pit again. Bushy can go to the end, but is also on hards. Dirk, why did Dirk not pit? He just pitted for softs. Why did he not get off them? Oh my. I just realised that.
Another driver for lessons, Badgerman.
Yeah, but he just needs to straight up engineer in his ear at this point. Lessons are more about driving and driving ability. I think, Dirk, as much as we obviously make fun of him for not making it into Q3 a lot and sometimes getting eliminated in Q1, but he is a capable driver. He doesn't make rookie mistakes in terms of driving, but the strategy side of things, yeah, I think we're gonna have to sit down with him. Introduce him to the basics at least.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I know things haven't been all great on the Dirk front, but things are all great on the Creator Series live front. Big warm welcome to everybody. We have got 142 live viewers watching us here on Twitch. Big thank you to every single one of you for tuning in, folks. It's a pleasure to have you all here as well. I tell you what an incredible story we have had here at Saudi Arabia. Don't forget to leave a follow to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out all the socials as well. It's a pleasure having you all along for the ride. We have a fantastic time commentating these races, myself and Badgerman, and also Gareth as well. You can't forget Gareth in the live chat, who has been a sensation in this box as well. We have witnessed so many great races in this championship, and we're about to witness yet another classic. Don't forget to check out the socials as well. Linktree in the chat, kindly provided by Harry59 as well. Make sure you check that out. Infratic has come out in the chat and said Hayden lagged on me. I was doing so well. I'm inclined, I'm inclined to agree with him.
Yeah, off the clip that I watched, the lag is definitely confirmed. There was a little bit of a, I don't know if it was a screen freeze for Hayden or just lag on on Fabio's end of sort of Hayden lagging back a little bit into him. But from what I saw actually on Hayden's POV, there seemed to have been no impact. Hayden just lost it on his own, it looked like, but on Fabio's screen it looked like Hayden lagged and then they made contact and Hayden spun. So I don't know what is true. I think, yeah, I don't know. There was lag for sure. But in fact, if I was you, I would feel very hard done by the 21 kph impact that took off your left front wheel.
I think he does feel slightly hard done by, but what I can tell you is, folks, we have got
collisions.
The safety car coming in. What is going on here?
Yeah, Tiamat Marduk, Razin, El Taco Man, and Mr. No, not Mr. Dale, I think. No. Tiamat Marduk, Razin Chai, and Taco all getting 5-second penalties for making contact under safety car.
Goodness me. Well, it's pedal to the metal for the 5th time in this Grand Prix now. Safso already looking to try and gain a place because he's got GB68 on his outside as they head in towards turn 1. The Aston Martin holding on to 3rd as he peels through turn 2 now. In behind, you can see there the McLaren only 1.5 tenths back. Safso, who is looking to threaten here. They touch. Oh my goodness me. Yellow flag again. GB868 spinning in the first sector, and that is literally him planted to the back of the classification. Couldn't come at a worse time, Badgerman.
Yeah, certainly couldn't on the restart. That's the worst timing you can possibly have, but at least you can now drive down that gap again. And his rear tires are certainly warmed up. I can see that on my telemetry, so that's the good news. And he's got no damage, so he got away with it somewhat lightly. Now, whether Safso has damage is being asked in the chat. He does. 20% damage on the left side of its front wing. So that's the end plate gone, and I think maybe a tiny bit more. No, it's half the. It shows as half the end plate. It doesn't show even as half the end plate gone. Interestingly, what is? Okay, cool, but it is damage. I can confirm.
Oh my goodness me, look at this for the back, battling all around as we're seeing Safso fall down so many places, 3 wide heading through this fast sector as they peel on through. Jan van Geffen with the biggest recovery drive I have ever seen. He's up into 5th place after all those incidents, the rear wing damage. Look at this cluster of cars now, side by side still now, as we see Tom coming together with Safso in towards turn 1. It's a job to know who's doing what. The Ferrari's coming into the mix. Goodness me, yellow flags in sector 1 again. All green now. Massive moments here in these final few laps.
Yeah, Tackle was around in turn 1 there. I think he was a little bit overzealous with that attack, and it ended up turning him around and losing him a bunch of places, more so than he possibly could have gained. So he is now down to P16, but it's all kicking off here. Unbelievable scenes.
Well, final few laps. I may have been a bit overzealous with that terminology. We're only on lap 31 and 50. Still plenty of time. 19 still to go. And you can see
Meraki.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Meraki, though, 3.4 seconds away from the leader, Alex Gillen, who's careered onwards and upwards in bid to win yet again in the Creator Series. Incredible, to say the least. All the cars now whipping through this middle sector, heading very shortly into the final sector. And Meraki, who has certainly got to try and land a blow on Alex Gillen, he's now very nearly out to 4 seconds if he's not careful, as now we're seeing just one alley now spear his way up into P6 ahead of Matty D13, who now looks to try and challenge him again. Incredible scenes, action in an abundance here at the Creator Series Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And look at this from Ali, who now once again making the big moves as he now tussles with an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and Meraki has successfully survived lap 31 for once. Not really common occurrence these days. A bit mean there, but you know, he's making fun of it, so I can too. So from this point on, I don't think he'll be crashing. I hope He won't be crashing. He's been doing quite well, but Alex Gill, I mean, look at that gap he already has to Maraki.
4 seconds.
4 seconds. Gillen just on an absolutely different level there. And yeah, looking at the situation with the tires, I think Dirk Chocolate and Jan van Geffen have to pit rather shortly. Those soft tires are not going to last for much longer. I would give it about another 5 or 6 laps, and then they could go on to another set of softs, potentially, if they have one available. And yeah, then they could go to the end with that set. I don't know if that's the smartest decision, though. I think the medium tire is just too good around here that you want to use it at some point. And Dirk has done that for 21 laps at the start, and Van Geffen has done it for 9 laps in the middle of the race, but you want to use him for more than that.
Absolutely. Look at this further down as well. Looks like Jan van Geffen is managing to get past Dirk Chocolate as well. He's, remember, also on soft tyres and starting to really make some serious moves. And Dirk Chocolate now looking to fire back as well, getting back into the rear wing. In behind Jan van Geffen. Look at this though, from Bushy Ants, now heading down the straight, opens up alongside Maraki, heading in towards turn 1, out of turn 2 very soon as well. The Mercedes now looking to go side by side. It looked like he had the advantage, but coming straight back at him, Maraki, as they peel through sector 1. In behind Jan van Geffen as well, looking to get into the mix, but Bushy Ants closing the deal, shuts the door, and now takes P2 for himself.
And that was huge for Bushy for 2 reasons. One, he's got a tyre advantage on Maraki, so getting past him now, look at the gap he immediately was able to pull. But also, he's got a tyre advantage on Alex Gillen, so hunting down the leader is now Bushy's #1 priority. 4 seconds the gap, and you can immediately see it closing. It went from 4.5 now down to 4.2, 4.1. So he's immediately gaining time on Alex Gillen. Gillen no longer safe now that Bushy has gone past. So this is far from over. If you wanted to go for a snack or have a bit of a moment to, visit the bathroom, now is not the right time to do that. You're going to have to wait until we either get a safety car or until this race is over.
Now, Jan van Geffen now taking P3 away from Maraki as well. He is on a mission. Now remember, this man does have 3 seconds against his time. Obviously that will be applied later on. Could yet decide whether he finishes in the podium placings or not, as once again Dirk Chocolate coming under fire, this time from Matty D13. These two have been going at it now for the last couple of laps, but Dirk Chocolate doing enough to hold on to that place. Is now the fastest lap once again gets taken by Jan van Geffen. Look at all these cars, they're getting mixed up further back too. We got Tom also in the mix, fighting it out here with that guy Vince, and now also into the mix comes Tiamat Marduk, who was spun earlier on. He is also making a comeback.
Yeah, and going for the move around the outside of that guy Vince. Overtakes him off track. I don't know if the game allows that or whether it's giving him an illegal overtake right now and he's going to let him through. He has 15 seconds to do so if the game did, but I think it's deemed legal. So, cheeky move there. Not sure that would have been deemed legal by real life stewards, but, the game says no problem there. And Tiamat Marduk up to P9.
Yeah, held the position brilliantly. Now sits in 9th place ahead of that guy Vince, now chasing after Tom as well as he peels through this next section as well. Look at this, they're both tying up here at this point. Started 6th place, now currently in 9th. Would like a go at the Alpine as now they whip through this very fast slalom. Now very shortly through the very quick left and right. They want to watch the curb on exit as well. Very easy to unsettle the car as they now move their way through. Tiamat Marduk doing enough though to hold on. DRS now opens up for him. The pace on his medium tyres looks exceptional in comparison to Tom's. And look at this, he might open up the door through the final corner. No, not quite yet, but if he gets a good exit, it will tee up an opportunity leading in towards turn 1.
Yeah, certainly might. He is flying right now. He's on better tyres than literally everyone ahead of him. No exceptions there. He is on the best tyres in the top 12 right now. So Tiamat Marduk should be flying through this field, should be overtaking a bunch of drivers. He's going for the move on Matty. No, decides against it into turn 4. Would have been a risky maneuver at best. So, but we might have him here in the S's. He clearly has more grip. As you can see, he's taking a much narrower line, and it still works out for him. to stay near the back of that Haas. Now has to defend from Dakovic, and there's Dirk around. Dirk.
Well, I've literally picked up another EGO crash. Incredible scenes here.
Dirk's fault.
Right at Dirk's incident.
Yeah.
I can't believe this, folks. Honestly, I honestly do apologise.
All right, back to radio commentary. You let me know when you're back in. Just interrupt me. It's okay. But we have right now Alex Gillen still in the lead. Gap to Bushy still 4.2 seconds. Van Heffen 4.8, and then Meraki now down to P5 as just Van Ali overtook him. Is into 4th. Meraki 5th. He really starts losing pace at this point. Very odd this compared to Alex Gillen, who's on the same kind of tire. Last lap he lost 0.4 of a second. This lap, there was something going on in the first sector. That's why he lost 1.7 seconds to Gillen in the first sector alone. But Van Heffen on Bushy Ants down the main straight, and with DRS he makes it very, very easy. He makes it look very easy, and Van Heffen is up to second place, but he has that 3-second penalty hanging over his head right now as he is going to try to hunt down Alex Gillen. Now, the problem with Van Heffen is he has to pit again. Those soft tires are probably at around 50% wear at this point, and they will not be making it to the end. So, Van Heffen is on borrowed time here in P2, Bushy P3, then just Van Ali now fighting up the field, and he can go to the end on those medium tires. That is not an issue. It's going to be close, but possible. So just Van Ali trying to hunt down the top 3. And then Meraki in P5 holding on for dear life. He's got Temit Marduk right behind him. And he's fighting. But Temit Marduk is also fighting on much better tires. Down the back straight he overtakes into the chicane. Easily done the move. That is about the easiest overtake I've ever seen. It's like taking candy away from a baby. Don't do that, by the way, dear viewers. But that's how easy that was.
Incredible indeed. I tell you what, folks, we will be back. The game is firing up. Don't go away.
Okay.
It is coming
awesome.
back.
I'll continue then. As Temit Marduk still in P5 and trying to hold on to that P5 from the counter-attack by Meraki, and potentially Tom as well, who is right behind the Williams. The Dutch Alpine driver not looking for the move. I thought he was going to, but he decided not to look for that move and stay behind in P7 behind Meraki. Temit Marduk should be gaining time now. Just Van Ali is on the back of P2 and P3. Van Heffen and Bushy Ants still there, and just Van Ali in P4. He's getting closer and closer there, and he's firing up. Fastest lap, meanwhile, from Mr. Dale in P15 on new softs. A 1 minute 29.8. An incredible lap for the race. Purple in all 3 sectors. We have a yellow flag. That is for Mr. Dale, who spun in turn 2. Well, so right after his fastest lap, he decided to do that. And just Van Ali with a moment as well. Almost losing it in the chicane in the middle sector.
Well, I'm pleased to report, folks, we are back. Tom also looking to make moves here already. Lap 37 of 50, still plenty of time to go. 13 laps remain here in this Creator Series Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Tom now up into 6, gets ahead of Meraki, whose tyres are certainly feeling it, suffering here now as that guy Vince also looks to try and take advantage. Meraki, though, coming straight back at Tom with the DRS, and also that guy Vince might choose to take a chance. Not this time, as we're now seeing them all come together. Look at Tom right in that rear wing of Meraki's car once again. It's going to be a 3-car fight between them. That guy Vince now looking to also take advantage too. Could be a 3-car affair as they come in towards turn 1. Look at this, Meraki shuts the door. That guy Vince and Tom coming together on the outside of turn 2. Tom holds on, keeps the AlphaTauri at bay. A 3-car scrap here on lap 38 with Meraki coming out on top.
And meanwhile, Temit Marduk flying further and further, closer and closer to the top 4 here to just Van Ali, Van Heffen and Bushy Ants. He is getting there. He is, well, I would argue, inside the top 14. He is the fastest man in the field right now. If we just exclude Mr. Dale, who is, by the way, pitting again, and Razin as well on 2-level softs and Dirk on 2-level mediums. Outside of that, Temit Marduk, fastest man on the track right now. And he gained 1.2 seconds on Just One Ali in just one lap. That is incredible. Now the progress halting a little bit as Just One Ali is sizing up Van Heffen for a move here. No DRS for Van Heffen. He is a sitting duck at this point with those old soft tires. Just One Ali should have an easy time here in that Ferrari. Is he going to go for the move or is he going to wait? He's going to wait. He's going to be smart about it. And I think down the main straight we're going to see potentially two cars attacking Van Heffen here. No, Van Heffen actually got the DRS. Oh my, Just One Ali should have gone for it into the final corner.
He should have, and he had the chance as well. Van Heffen made a huge error heading out to the final corner. The tail of the car wiggling ever so slightly. Obviously, he had that rear wing damage that obviously will affect him now, as we're seeing now. The Ferrari try and impose here on the Ferrari-powered Alfa Romeo as it now peels through the first sector here. Just One Ali, who started in 12th place, now sits in 4th. Big points on the table and a potential podium when we come to the end of this race. But don't count out Tiamat Marduk, who has seen absolutely everything. Incidents, changes to the tyres, new strategies, multiple safety cars. It has been an absolutely stunning display, as now we're seeing Just One Ali looking to try and take that position away from Jori-Jan van Geffen, who continues to defend brilliantly.
Yeah, he certainly does, but how much longer can he defend? Bushy Ants has checked out in P2 right now. Almost 2 seconds the gap there. And Just One Ali and Tiamat Marduk, they want to get past as quickly as possible. And by the way, for people asking in the chat whether penalties are being removed, we don't have that currently. Might be something that we're looking into. As here goes Tiamat Marduk around the outside of Just One Ali. Is he going to make a 2-for-1? Into the final corner, around the outside of Van Heffen, and he does. Oh, and contact, and there's wing coming off. Just One Ali with damage.
Yeah, Just One Ali picking up front wing damage. The end plate flying off the Ferrari as Jori-Jan van Geffen and Just One Ali come together as they barge side by side through towards turn 1. Tiamat Marduk now third on track here at this point, with Just One Ali in 4th place trying to defend against the Alfa Romeo. When they came together, the wing broke on the front of that Ferrari of Just One Ali's car. Incredible scenes here. Alex Gillen, though, remember his advantage was 4 seconds. It's now just simply 3.5.
Yeah, and it's going to be less and less. Tiamat Marduk is going to be flying 1.4 to Bushy and 1.6 now, as he must have had a little bit of a mistake out of turn 10, 11 and 12 there. But he's still fighting through. However, his medium tires going off more and more. We might actually gear up for another Tiamat Marduk versus Alex Gillen showdown here. And yeah, first sector, Tiamat Marduk, despite the mistake, gaining 4/10 already on Alex Gillen, 2.5 tenths on Bushy. So he is absolutely flying here down this track. Second sector, another 10th gained on Gillen. Same time as Bushy, so he is going for this. He wants this, but he has to make moves as quickly as he can. Those medium tires not going to be in that good of a shape compared to the hard tires towards the end.
No, Jori-Jan van Geffen once again taking that 4th place again from Just One Ali, who will have DRS heading down this next straight. You can just see there Van Geffen there just moving to the inside. Rear light flashing on the car as he cuts to the outside line now, looking to defend turn 1. As they come through turn 1 and 2 now, there you can see just in behind him, of course that being Just One Ali, and isn't able to pounce all that quick, but does go side by side heading through towards turn 4 out of turn 5. Just look at them nose to tail once again as they head past the crowds on the right hand side. Still though, Jori-Jan van Geffen managing to hold on here, because obviously at a circuit such as this, damage to the front wing is all, well, very treacherous. That guy Vince though, with a huge move, now moves into 5th place.
Yeah, really good move there. Opportunistic. Meraki also slipping through. That's even more opportunistic there. One guy puts a move up. Well, I can slip through. And Meraki just did on his old hard tires. He seems to have been struggling for the longest time. But now, the hard tires don't look that bad anymore. His rears are at around 45% wear. His front's at around 40. And I'm pretty sure all the medium runners around him, their tires are pretty much at the same level, if not worse. Just One Ali, of course, also struggling with that front wing damage that he picked up. battling with Van Heffen earlier. That certainly makes him struggle. But that guy Vince and Meraki looking to put a move on Van Heffen here, whose soft tires have long stayed past their welcome, and they need to go off. So he needs to pit soon. He doesn't do it yet. I think Van Heffen is holding out for a safety car. He's holding out for a hero until the end of the night. But who will be the hero to cause the safety car for Van Heffen, if there will be one?
Yeah, well, there you can see the bottom right-hand corner. That guy, Vince, as he makes the overtake on Jan Van Heffen. He's under pressure again, this time from Meraki. And in behind as well, Tom, who is also getting into the mix too. Inside line for Tom. Oh, that's brilliant. That is sensational there from Tom, who manages to jump 2 places in the space of a single corner. And he has a smile on his face. He's dancing. Tom now moves his way up into 5th.
That was beautiful. I'm absolutely amazed. This is what I talked about earlier with Tom. He has the pace, but he also has the smarts. He knows how to put his car in exactly the right place for this kind of opportunity, and it worked like a charm. Tom up in the P5. Fantastic stuff right there.
Yeah, I tell you what a moment.
Timmerman is out! Timmerman
Goodness
just
me.
crashed in the chicane! And that is a safety car guaranteed, and there it is, the 5th one. Oh, that is a heavy impact. I'm very glad that we only have virtual cars here, because if that was a real-life crash, I'd be incredibly worried about the driver. That was an insanely heavy impact. And I think we're going to get a clip again. My goodness. And now Alex Gill and Bushian's pitting. I think everyone will be pitting now for soft tires. And it will be a mad dash of... Oh, no. That guy Vince staying out. He gambles. Oh, I love that. I love that. And Tom as well. Tom staying out as well.
This is sensational. This is utterly sensational, folks. Who would believe it? I tell you what, I'm not. I tell you what, I'm gobsmacked. Utterly gobsmacked. Ben Daly's out. That guy Vince leading the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Tom, who does have 3 seconds of time penalties, currently occupies 2nd place. And I tell you what, you do have to wonder what could be on the table. There you can see the clip in the live chat. If you want to see it, folks, check it out. Being supplied here by Harry59 as well. Bushians in 4th. What a sensational race we have witnessed. And with 7 laps to go, we have got a real clinic on our hands. And bear in mind, those on the soft tyres are going to be so quick. Gillen is in 3rd. Surely has to be the favourite to take victory here. But look at the queue of cars in behind. Meraki is also boxed onto softs. What about Matty D13? Jan Van Heffen is on softs as well. Not to mention GB68, they're all having it. They're all queuing up here at this point, Badgerman. We have got a sensational moment. What's the latest?
I just saw Mr. Dale spinning into the... Was that? I think that was Mr. Yeah. Mr. Dale spinning into the wall and out of the race.
Dear
I don't know why. He was a lap
me.
down. I actually think Mr. Dale didn't know about our... I guess protocol to deal with lapped cars, which is to allow them through. That cars go off the circuit, leaders go off the circuit to allow lapped cars through. I think he may not have known about this, and so he just decided to end the race so that they don't have to do that. Very unfortunate. You could have been back in this.
One of the most bizarre broadcasts I think you'll ever see, folks. I think here today. I mean, we have had all sorts. I mean, I'd like to say, first of all, big thank you. Also, just want to say, 167 live viewers now, folks. Sensational. Thank you all so much. And we're breaking viewers' records. Top boxing. Once again, interesting decision-making by the Alpine, as you can see them going to work on the car in the garage.
Yeah, that guy Vince is gonna hate this right now, because that was his buffer right there behind him that just disappeared. Now he's got basically a group of really 14 hyenas hoping for a nice dinner right there, and that guy Vince is the dinner.
He is. He is literally, I tell you what, he is a glutton for punishment, and he's going to get a lot of it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Gillen, his own teammate, in behind, 0.2 of a second is all that separates him. We're under safety car conditions. big thank you to every single one of you. We're on to break a viewer's record here for the Creator Series. Thank you all so much for all your support. We're doing it week on week. Incredible to see you all getting involved. It's a pleasure to have you. Let's continue and keep this going. We're on lap 44 of 50. We are going to have a restart. I tell you what, where's it going, Badgerman? Who wins this Grand Prix? Chat, I want to hear from you. Let us know in the live chat. Let us know who you think's going to win this race. Lay it on the line, Badgerman. Lay it on the line.
Any of the drivers between P2 and P4, including those, obviously. So I'm not saying P3. That would be between 2 and 4. But no, including P2 and P4. Well, Gillen, Bushians, or Meraki. I think those three are going to make up the podium. I don't know in which order.
Well, I'm looking at this now. We have got literally, I tell you what, Alpha's creating Abu Dhabi 2021. We've got Gillen Easy Dub, says Alfie White. We've got round of applause for this series, says Gello Dean. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. We've got Alex, says D's lost. We've got F1 the world saying Gillen will win. Argo 55 says Alonso. You might be right tomorrow. Elfie saying we got F1 the world saying Elfie. Don't know what that means, but maybe that's about Alfie. I'm not sure. Bushy wins, says Poochie Head. Ali is going to have a mad one, says Alfie as well. As the cars are now getting backed up, we've got a restart coming up, folks. Get ready. If you haven't done so already as well, there is a link to vote for your driver of the day on the Twitter. Make sure you do, as now that guy Vince is about to get us underway here, and for the final time, surely it's got to be, for the 6th time we put pedal to the metal here in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And look at this, they're all queuing up. Look at this indeed, into turn 1. That guy Vince though holds on to the advantage. Bushy Hansen behind as well, challenging that of Alex Gillen. Meraki as well. GB68 now going side by side, 3 wide further back. It's carnage here at this moment in time, Badgerman.
Yeah, it is a lot of shuffling going on, but everyone within 4 seconds of the lead right now, in part because that guy Vince is a sitting duck. I tell you what though, he's been incredibly clever. He worked his tyres up just enough to have a chance at the restart. That's the difficulty with those medium tyres compared to all the soft runners. The soft tyres have an easy time working up to the temperature they need to have. Mediums, not so much. It's possible, but it's not that easy. And that guy did a great job of warming up the tyres so that they were in the right range at the restart. So that gave him a fighting chance, and it continues to give him a fighting chance. Here's Gillen, though.
Yeah, Gillen now challenging for the race lead. He takes the race lead on lap 45 of 50 in huge style. Brilliant style indeed past his teammate, whipping through the fast chicane. It's Alex Gillen who leads here at Saudi Arabia, but it's not over yet because Bushiant's looking for also a win to his name as well. Outside line now on Dakai Vince, heading through the final corner at turn 27. Eloquent. Brilliant indeed for the Mercedes. He's up in a 2nd place with Meraki now in tow as well.
Yeah, and that is the podium I predicted. Again, I don't know which order, but Heffen also down. But Heffen touched that guy Vince, I think.
Big moments.
I'm pretty sure he was involved and touched Meraki maybe as well. Meraki down to 6th. I think Van Heffen was a bit late on the brakes there.
I think he was. Turn 1, it got it all a bit messy. There was a scramble. That guy Vince ended up going off the track at turn 1, and obviously seeing the likes of Meraki drop down through the field, that will certainly hurt because he was challenging for that podium place. He was almost an innocent bystander in all that as well. Incredible stuff. As now Gillen now leads the way. Bushians in 2nd, Jorjan van Geffen in 3rd, GB68 in 4th with Juswan Ali in 5th. I tell you what, it's like a boxing match, one after the other, round by round. They're bludgeoning each other, they're punching, hitting each other, going for the body, up to the face. It's non-stop here at Saudi, as now they're worming their way through this next left and right. There you can see them. It's just so incredible to see racing in this aptitude. Such a fast circuit, opportunities certainly around every corner, as we suggested.
Here comes
coming
Bushy
into this race. And Bushy Ants now looking for the lead of the race. 2 of the drivers that are on the same tyre life, both on softs. It's a last chance to dance. 4 laps left here in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's Gillen v Bushy Ants.
Yeah, Bushy Ants got the inside and a better run out of the corner as well. Maybe used more battery, and he did use more battery. So this isn't the last we've seen as Gillen dives up the inside. Oh, it got really close, but Bushy keeps the lead there. What a daring dive from Gillen.
Absolutely brilliant dive from Alex Gillen, but certainly Bushy Ants did well, did enough to hold on to this race lead, and now careering away. The time gap is being whittled outwards, and now he's looking to try and break any sort of toe that Gillen can use in order to close the gap. Van Geffen obviously still struggling with that rear damage on that rear wing. As you can see, GB68 as well looking to come to blows here with Just Swinali through this next left again, heading out now turn 13, turn 14 next as well, into turn 15. The Ferrari still holds on to fourth place with GB in tow. I tell you what, the fireworks here in Saudi Arabia kicking off as Bushy Ants leads this race.
Yeah, a bit early. Normally they kick off after lap 50, but we're going a bit early with the fireworks already. We're going to have more in the remaining 3 laps of this race. Once the drivers cross the line, Bushy Ants now trying to pull a gap to Alex Gillen here. It seems to somewhat work, but not fully. Alex Gillen does have the DRS, of course, and will have it down the main straight as well, but he's a bit far away for an attack just now. But again, he does have the ERS advantage by 40%, so this is far from over. Van Heffen also there, but he is on borrowed time. ERS down to 10%. I don't think he will play a role in all of this. Just Swinali, he might. He might play a role in all of this. His ERS is not as great as Gillen's, but it's pretty good. It's better than Bushy's. So there is an opportunity to be had there for the Ferrari.
Yeah, there is. There is a brilliant opportunity for him because Jurjen Van Geffen has got 6 seconds of penalties against him. GB68 also there in 5th. Might choose to, well, maybe he can get close. Oh, Jorit, very wide. Heading out of that particular bend, it got very, very untidy. Heading through that sector, down the inside comes Just Swinali. Up into 3rd there for the Ferrari, the Scuderia, lighting up here at Jeddah, as now he makes it into the top 3. Just Swinali, remember where he started, he's now on for a podium. Brilliant move, brilliantly timed, and he executed where it counted.
Yeah, fantastic stuff there from Just Swinali. Remember, he got eliminated in Q2. Very uncharacteristic for him, but he managed to, from P12 on the grid to make a fantastic run here for currently a podium position. And it's not over. He's in DRS of Alex Gillen and Bushy Ants, and those two will kick off in the last 2 laps as well. And Just Swinali in the perfect spot to pick up the pieces should those two come together.
Yeah, just look at this, folks. I tell you what, it's the encounter we have been waiting for. I tell you what, 50 laps have led to this moment. I tell you what, well, should I say 49 laps here at this point? We are on lap 49 of 50 after all, as now we're seeing the cars make their way through the first sector. Bushy Ants' delta, that difference has now been eroded as Gillen now looks to press. Obviously has been leading the majority of this race. Remember, he was 4 seconds out in front, but safety cars have got in between every moment where he's tried to advance a charge at the very top end, but Bushy Ants the kryptonite in that effort, and now these two are going to be fighting it out here with just over a lap and a half still to go. But what about Just Swinali? He's getting himself into the mix of this fight. This 2-car affair might well become a 3-car affair here, Benjamin.
Yeah, but Alex Gillen's still patient on the ERS. He's still got over 70% and a 40% advantage over Bushy Ants. This is not looking good for Bushy. Alex Gillen is so patient. This is what makes him so dangerous generally in racing, is that you know he is waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity. And look at this, uses a pit battery, gets to the outside, gets the DRS, gets the better exit. And
Bushy!
Massive moment for Bushy, and that is perfect for Gillen. Slips through, and now he's got all the battery in the world.
Incredible!
To pull a gap.
Absolutely mammoth scene to Alex Gillen. Got the run heading out of the final corner at turn 27. And I tell you what, a loss to the rear from Bushy Ants had led to an opening of the door by Alex Gillen. And now he can now see his way through to perhaps taking the lead and also the race win here in Saudi Arabia. The gap still stands at 3/10. Bushy Ants not out of this yet. But what about Just Swinali? Could he hold on? There's a car round, I think. Bushy's round. Bushy with damage.
Oh my, it's all kicking off here. Just one Ali up to P2 and Bushy down to 7th now. And with damage, no front wing at all, he will lose more places. That promotes GB68 right now into a net podium position. Unbelievable.
Well, I tell you what, the Creator Series never fails to give us a story. And this one was a dramatic tale. One that was filled with crashes, safety cars, you name it. Moments that we never would have expected. Broadcast moments as well that none of us expected either. But Alex Gillen, who I have to tell you, one of the stars rising here in the Creator Series that we have seen obviously deliver time and time again on content, himself and Team Marduk have given their viewers a brilliant showcase in terms of a two-player career mode. But he will win here in the Creator Series and the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to boot with the fastest lap. A brilliant performance from Alex Gillen in the AlphaTauri. P1 goes to the Brit ahead of Justin Ali in second. GB68 with a historic and a brilliant podium after claiming a grandiose result off the back of a spin from Bushy Ants. But Alex Gillen is your race winner.
Yeah, incredible. That fastest lap fully coming off the ERS that he had saved, using all of it on those old-ish soft tires to beat out the previous fastest lap by just over 0.2 of a second. And Alex Gillen, after starting on the second row, wins this race as well. Just incredible from Alex Gillen once again. The man is unstoppable.
He certainly is, but I tell you what a result, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely thrilled with it. I tell you what, folks, that is insane, and I have to tell you, it was absolutely special. A brilliant win for Alex Gillen. He will celebrate, no doubt, after a tremendous drive, tremendous race. We had controversy, as I said before. The safety cars were aplenty, as they usually are in the Creator Series. But don't take anything away. We witnessed what was, or what should be, described as a fantastic Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Jeddah, the Corniche circuit, a brand new track that has only been raced on twice in the history of Formula One in real life. We've seen it many times on the F1 22 game, but this one certainly up there as one of the best. Alex Gillen is your race winner. Justin Ali in second. GB68 crowned third, with Zafso in fourth. Bushy Ants came home in fifth. Meraki in sixth. And we got Jan van Geffen in seventh place. Hayden Gullis in eighth. Matty D13 in ninth, with that guy Vince in 10th. Tom finished in 11th, with El Taco Man in 12th. Rasin Chai 13th. Swave in 14th. Dirk Chocolate, who was a lap down, in 15th. And we lost, unfortunately, Tiamat Marduk, Mr. Dale J.E., as well as Infratic, Liam as well, and Curbs, who we lost very early on. But how about that, Badgerman? How do you sum up a race like that?
Madness. That's the only fitting word for this is madness. Absolutely unadulterated madness, and I love it.
Well,
absolutely incredible race, and we're going to do more of this. We're going to do so much more of this. Every single week, every single Sunday, Saturday. Sunday is when the real races happen. Every single Saturday we're gonna have another race, and oh my, I am so looking forward to the rest of this season.
I honestly, I cannot believe what we witnessed today. I mean, look, it was a battle on track, but it was also a battle in the commentary box, folks. The amount of EGO dump crashes I have had today have driven me insane. I tell you what, incredible. But yeah, we got it working. We brought a broadcast. I'd like to apologise, first of all. I mean, yeah, we had Alex Gillen versus Bushy Ants, George Morgan versus the EGO dumper crash. I mean, madness. Yeah, it's simply sensational. But yeah, big thank you, everybody in the live chat, for your patience. Really do appreciate your support. Honestly, it was much appreciated. Badgerman, I tell you what, I would like to thank you as well for your absolutely superb radio style commentary. Honestly, you saved my bacon, mate.
That's my experience. I've done football radio commentary before, so that came in clutch there.
There you go.
Did it for third or fourth division. I don't know where they are currently, but third or fourth division German club. for their team radio. So I was a bit familiar with radio commentary, so that worked out quite well. And yeah, what a race! I mean, we have actually one person waiting for an interview. That would be a certain Jan van Heffen.
Yeah, should we bring him in?
At the end of the day, finished P7, and I can drag him in if you want me to.
Yeah, bring him in. Let's have a chat with him. Obviously, I can't imagine it was the easiest day for Jorrit Jan van Heffen, but hey, we're going to bring him in anyway. Jorrit, we've got you here in the commentary box. It was what could only be described as a mad race. I'm still waiting. I don't think he's quite off mute yet. I think he's obviously still trying to digest what had happened. Hopefully we'll get to hear from him shortly. The microphone's still muted, his end. Not quite sure.
No, I can hear him, George. Have you muted him?
No, I don't think so. Have I? Oh, no. Do you know what it was? It was because his microphone was acting up earlier on.
Acting up earlier.
Incredible scene.
Yeah.
We have got him here. Jorrit, I do apologise. I had you muted because your microphone was doing some crazy stuff earlier.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no worries. What a race. Drama. We had lots of it. You yourself had your own set of circumstances. Obviously, you had the rear wing damage. Certainly, I think didn't help your race.
Oh,
can you talk
absolutely.
us through it? Can you talk us through
So, yeah, so it was crazy. It started P19, and on lap 1, I was already fighting for the lead. Sorry, not lap 1, but like on the start of the race, I was already fighting for the lead, which was mad. Those softs worked out really well, and I completely underfueled the car because I knew the fuel would come back. But Alex did a late dive and accidentally took me out, and then in the spin after that I took up my rear wing a little bit, but later in a pit stop I lowered my front wing, and that gave me incredible straight line speed. I was on the softs a lot, so the softer compound, bit less weight due to the fuel. I was able to actually stick with some people as well, and with the rear wing damage and the low front wing, it was actually kinda doable. And I made some great moves because I had incredible straight line speed, but it was very hard to get used to the braking with those absolute crazy speeds that I was doing on the straights. So with that, I did have a moment with Jake where I took him out. That was fully on me. Like I completely missed the braking zone there. But yeah, it was crazy because I thought it was done at the start. But on track it was pretty good. I got front wing damage at the end a little bit, and that made it super hard to not get warnings. Usually I don't really get a warning, or one at most. But with the damage, it was so hard to not get warnings. But in terms of racing, I'm pretty happy with it. It was a very exciting race. But not the result I'd want, but it was lots of fun.
Yeah, well, you could say that again. I mean, the amount of safety cars we had, it's just typical. I'm going to call it the Creator Series setup, I think. I mean, we literally see it time and time again, but it delivers, doesn't it? It's brilliant. I mean, obviously, we have the viewers here that are tuning in every week, and they certainly enjoy the drama. You yourself are in the mix of it, but you've got to hail your own brilliant recovery drive to get yourself back in, because you were cemented to the back. Heading through the start of the race, it took a huge fight back to get yourself even in the fight for a podium.
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out because Hayden he gave me some words of courage. He said, Jorrit, just don't give up. Let's just see where we end up. I was like, yep, absolutely. And it resulted in something great. At the start, when it happened, my head wasn't there. But Hayden told me stay in the game, and I stayed in the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's almost the story, isn't it? You almost need to bounce back every time, get your head right. Yeah. I suppose. I mean, obviously, looking ahead to the championship, you've been in the mix. We've spoken about this before. You're in the mix every time. It's just getting over that line.
But it just doesn't happen. It's.
The
I'm
curse.
there.
You're cursed. Got it.
Ugh, yeah, I guess so.
Incredible. Well, congratulations anyway on a superb fight back.
Thank you so much.
I think considering the circumstances, it was a cracking drive. So amazing job, and you deserve it. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to bring in as well Tom as well. They've got, of course, the Dutch superstar who, of course, has joined us. And I tell you what, this man delivered in many ways because, I mean, what a sensational double overtake this man caught. We caught him on camera as well with his... Yeah. I mean, Tom, your reactions, mate, to some of those moves were fantastic. I had them on show. They were brilliant.
I swear, this was the best race I've ever driven. If you look at the results, you think, what do you mean, bro? Like, you're like P18 or something, but I swear, I felt like an alien, like with two, like, and I was like, shang, shabam, everywhere.
shang,
Literally,
shabam. I love that.
The thing is, though, honestly, I've never had a race with more incidents in my life. And the thing is, for my side, I felt like it's such a perfect race. It was crazy, honestly. So I was so like, oh, man. But it was so much fun, genuinely. And I was actually very surprised. I mean, shout out to everyone because I think we only had like 3 retirees in the end or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was 6. It was 6.
Oh, it was 6.
Okay,
oh,
never
yeah.
mind
It was 3 for a long. It was 3 for a long period. We were glued
Never
into what
mind
was
that.
going on at the front.
What
So
the flip?
yeah, we were glued into what was going on at the front. So we didn't really counter in what was happening towards the end. But yeah, 60 NFs.
Yeah.
But you know, still, I mean, Tom, your qualifying performance was brilliant. I have to tell you. I mean, you got into yeah. I mean, that initial start, you put it fastest in. And then out came the shades. That was brilliant. We had that on display as well in qualifying. I said, Tom is so confident, the future's so bright, he's got to put the shades on.
They made me quicker or slower because the last lap wasn't as great. But no, I mean, the guys couldn't put on a show, man. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Even regardless of the outcome, I never end up in the points anyway. So. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was cracking. And looking ahead now, does that fill you with confidence to go again? You're gonna no confidence.
No, I have no confidence, mate. 0.
I disagree. I think you have lots, mate. I thought you drove brilliantly, and I tell you what, some of those reactions were off the chain. Loved every moment of it. But
and we also just gotta like call out Dirk here because I mean he did an amazing race and losing it in the last and final lap. I mean, I feel for him, man.
Brutal.
Did you see
Absolutely
that
brutal.
on the stream or not?
We didn't catch it. There was a fight going on with
man.
Bushy and the thing. And Bushy spun.
He did great.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible. I was gutted for him. To be fair, I did see him lose it, and I think he was a little bit disheartened. But I'm sure he'll bounce back. He is obviously a superb character. Absolutely.
Sure.
But Tom, congratulations on a brilliant result.
One second. Not just brilliant result. Tom also won the Driver of the Day vote.
Oh, Tom got it. Brilliant.
Congratulations, man.
Was it just you or what?
No, the one on Twitter.
Yeah. We had a driver poll on Twitter. You won Driver of the Day. So congratulations,
Nice.
Tom.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
No worries at all. Congratulations, Tom. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
For sure.
Yeah, nice one. Brilliant. Well, that's Tom, everybody. Obviously celebrating an incredible performance. I mean, he has every right to be proud, I think, Badgerman.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy race, and I'm seeing his strategy. I mean, after 2 laps, Tom's had 2 pit stops. So I'm not surprised that he's happy about this P11 because he had an incredible race overall.
Yeah, and I tell you what, a man who I think was a bit unfortunate, I think, today. And you described it as one of the biggest crashes you've ever seen, Badgerman. We've got Benjamin Daly here in the commentary box. Ben, it just did not go to plan today.
No, it didn't. Pace was really strong today. And despite all my setbacks, I was still in the conversation in the top 3. And then I went over a curb just like I did every other time. Every time, 43 times in a row, went over that curve just like that. But this time there was a snap, and I just slightly overcorrected, and there was a barrier right to my left. So that was it. So yeah, bitterly disappointing. I like to pride myself on not pinning myself in races. So
well, it's not a common
shame.
occurrence for you, really, is it? I mean, I think we've seen you finish more races than you haven't finished, and certainly your pace has been superb. I mean, today alone, I mean, you were challenging the top end. The strategy calls seemed to be the right ones, especially after that earlier spin you had during the race. The fight back again was brilliant to get yourself back in contention for, I suppose, a top 5 towards the end.
Yeah, the straight line speed was incredible. It was doing half the work for me. I wasn't using too much battery to get through. I was trying to be a bit more smarter, and all of a sudden I just found myself gravitating towards the front after the last or second last safety car, and someone said I was catching Alex by like 9/10 a lap. So maybe I was more in contention than what I thought. I was right on the edge of getting DRS off of Bushy, so I was pushing maybe just that little bit harder than I usually was, and yeah, that was it. I couldn't believe it.
Well,
I was having a cracking race.
You were, and I think myself and Badgerman was saying towards the end of that race, it was teeing itself up to be a three-way fight between yourself, Bushy, and Alex. I mean, does it make it hurt that much more to see him take the win?
Yeah, small points lost in the championship. I think it's game over now, unless I go on some kind of crazy winning streak. But
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Alex has just got everyone flustered at the moment, and he's keeping his head, and everyone else is losing theirs. So we all gotta step up.
Yeah, got to find a way to stop him. But Ben, hey, don't take anything away from your performance, mate. You were rapid out there, and I'm sure you'll bounce back as well. We all know you can.
Cheers, George.
Cheers,
Badger.
Thank you, Ben. Take it easy, man. We're going to bring in. I think we'll bring in the one, the only Hayden Gullis. I think because obviously he had his own dramatics in the race. Hayden, welcome to the commentary box. I tell you what, it was a mad race. I think it's fair to say. And you had your own fair share of fun, I think.
Yeah, difficult. A difficult one. I had rear wing damage from lap 8.
Oh goodness me!
Onwards.
So you were
basically.
You were in the same position as Yorit then, I suppose, to a degree, because he had the same.
He got a lot later, but then when Alex slowed down the safety car like halfway through the race, I then got front wing damage from that. So I had front wing damage and rear wing damage, and was just slowly going back through the patch, hoping for a safety car, and thankfully it came out.
Yeah, well, not only one, we had about 5 in total.
Yeah,
which
I just needed that last one. That's what I needed. I was praying for it.
Yeah, I mean, it was standard creator series, I think, in terms of the way the safety cars were being dished out. But still, I think it delivered a clinic. Any favourite moments for yourself during that race?
Favourite moments was so I had the rear wing damage, was struggling with it, and then when I made my first pit stop, I asked the guys what can I do to counteract it, and they told me to go lower on the front wing, and it worked. It was still loose, but it was a lot better, and I was absolutely rapid because I basically had no aero at that point, so I was able to make overtakes, so that was actually quite decent. And then, yeah, for sure the end, being on the softs and just working and climbing my way back into the points, and I made a little mistake on the last lap down into turn 1, and had I not done that, I would have got Yorit for P7. Yeah. Because we were separated by 300s.
It's funny you say that, because Badgerman actually alluded to it during the broadcast, saying, oh yeah, if you drop the wing a couple of clicks, it can counteract the rear wing damage. I believe, obviously you can obviously further on that quotation, Badgerman. Obviously you mentioned it during the show. I mean, just talk us through that, that sort of change in the front wing and how it alleviates the rear wing issues.
Well, I was running low aero anyway, and it was fine. I enjoyed the setup. It's very aggressive for the overtakes, but it was stable through the corners for me. I was comfortable with it. But the rear wing just made it so unsettled. It was fine apart from the fast chicane. So you've got the one at the end of the sector, or start of sector 3, the one in the mid part of the track as well, and then the end of sector 1, it was a little bit loose there.
Right.
And I went from 10 on the front and whipped it down to 6. I think I was running 4 on the rear. Had no rear wing after that collision, unfortunately. But the 6 definitely counteracted it, and then whacked the brake balance up to about 53, so a couple of clicks that way. And yeah, it settled it so much better. Like, through those chicanes, I was able to be comfortable. I wasn't too aggressive. I didn't push it too hard, but it wasn't like I was backing off and losing loads of time. I was able to be on the mark again and was able to fight, which was good.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking ahead in the championship, is there opportunities for you to rise in the driver standings, do you think? Is there any tracks in particular that stand out?
Races like this, where there's a lot of chaos, is usually my bread and butter. Today was an off day for me, getting that rear wing damage. Had I not got that, usually I'm very clean with the penalties, I'm very clean with the front wing. So I reckon we could have had a very good result here. So going to move forward, try and do that again, try and keep out of trouble, and then see where we end up at the end.
Sounds good, Hayden. I tell you what, ever the optimist, and that's what I like to hear. Certainly. We'll look forward to seeing you back here again, mate. I'm sure we will.
Thank you. Love you, George. Bye.
Yeah,
love you, Badger too.
Yeah,
bye.
Take it easy, man. Take it easy. The giraffe, Hayden Gullis, everybody. We're going to bring in as well Alex Gillen, the man, the myth, the somewhat of a legend now here in the Creator Series. Alex Gillen, brilliant win. I tell you what, you seem to be commanding this series right now. I mean, that was a bizarre race, and one that I suppose you had to manage. There was no necessary strategy that could really help you in a situation like that. Just talk us through it.
Oh, honestly, what's happening? I don't know what's going on. 3 wins in a row? I don't know how. I literally started this stream.
Tom is
saying,
livid.
like-
Not Tom, sorry. Ben is livid. Ben is livid right now.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally started the stream by being like, surely it's not like I can't do it again. Like, because there's about 5 guys that have got the same pace, and Bushy tends to be a bit quicker than me and stuff. Like, it's not like if I was like consistently 2-3 tenths that quicker than everybody else, you kind of go, okay, that's what it is. But it's not that at all. I think I'm just getting lucky. I honestly don't know what's going on. Like, especially with this one, I had an incident with Bruto and annihilated him, which I apologise for many times. I was so bad for him.
You were
Trying to
enemy of the
battle
chat at that
Bushy.
point, to be honest. They were all saying, he's killed him. He's killed him.
I'm not. Yeah, fair enough. I deserve all of it. 100% my fault. I felt so bad for him, but then get the safety car and just looking like going to the end on the hards and make it work. From there, it was keeping it clean, but at the end, I felt like Bushy had me. He was so fast. I didn't know what was going on. I was just trying to stick with him at first, and I was like, okay, do something different. Everyone's going to expect me to get him last lap. Go penultimate lap just to try and mess him up a bit, and then I think I had about 60% DRS at the time, so hoping to be able to defend on the last lap. And I went for it. Obviously, he made his mistake, so that let me through, but and then I was thinking, okay, this is far from over. Bushy's so fast. He was quicker than me. He's going to be able to stick with me. But yeah, he obviously made a mistake in the first set. I feel bad for him, but we take it. P1 again, as if.
You're on fire. There's no other driver, I think, that's managed to achieve that at all in the Creator Series. I mean, we went through a time when there was no back-to-back winner, but now we've got 3 on the spin. It's like one extreme to the absolute other. Incredible. I mean, it's
Sorry about that.
You've ruined it. You've ruined it. But yeah, I mean, let's just go back to that incident. So you weren't under the impression that fight was done on the final lap, obviously after Bushiance's error coming out the final corner of turn 27. So you were full on expecting him to come back, obviously.
Yeah, because he was definitely quicker than me. Like when we were on similar tyre wear on the hards, he was gaining on me by enough to catch me on DRS at the end. I had to try and really dig deep and see if I could find more time. And then when I sort of let him through on the soft, because I was thinking, you know, I don't know, he's right with me. If he wants to go for it, let him go for it. Try and make him burn ERS, etc. Trying to be tactical. But then when I did let him through, I was like, oh, hold on, I'm sort of struggling to stick with him here. I think he got to 7 or 8 tenths at one point. So I was still within DRS, but even so, he was really quick. And then on that penultimate lap, I really dug deep, pushed hard, used a bit of ERS to try and get him. But yeah, because he was quicker, I was like, if he could stick with me like he has been doing in the first set there, I think he'll get me. Because DRS, obviously, triple DRS there on this track, quite powerful. I didn't know what his ERS charge was like, but I was thinking, I think he'll get me into the final turn here. But I'll try something different. Because I think if I waited to the last lap, maybe we'd taken the pressure off him a little bit. Well, obviously, not much. It's still the last lap. You're still in the first place. But, you know, maybe he'd have been a bit more confident then, but kind of going for it in weird places. Also, when I did let him through, I was sending it back up the inside just to, I guess, keep people on their toes. I always try and do things differently on track to what other people do, because then you don't know what to expect from me. You know, is he going to send it here? Is he going to send it here? It makes them constantly worry.
So you get the opportunities, I suppose, isn't it?
I guess so, yeah. I guess if you call it mind games, I suppose. But I just always try and do things differently, because otherwise it's, you know, they know exactly what to expect, and in which case they know exactly how to defend it. So yeah, seems to be working for now. But I'm not here next week, though, so there'll be a different one next week.
Opportunity then for next week, then perhaps to open up the championship. I mean, looking ahead, where can you see the title going? Do you think that you're in the right place to perhaps go on to take the title here at this point?
Well, look, I'm still a reserve, so all it takes is everybody to turn up one week, and I'm not driving, let alone even I can make it. Yeah, I've made more races than I expected. Like the last season, I made as many races as I could, and I made like 1 or 2 races. It was nothing. So I generally am quite busy on weekends, but the last few I happen to have been at home and around, so I'll do them in that case if there's space. But yeah, so I mean, the reason I'm talking about that is because obviously that's what it depends on. If I can't make half the races, there's no chance. With how it's going right now, if I can make the majority of races, I mean, I'll certainly think about it, and I'll see if I can maybe come home on a Saturday night for the finale or something if I'm still in the fight. We'll see.
Well, we certainly will. Plenty of chances for fights, certainly, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of them. But congratulations, Alex, on a fantastic win. And, of course, we won't see you next week. We'll see you perhaps the week after.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Yeah, cheers, Alex. Awesome job.
Cheers.
We're going to bring in as well GB68, who he himself had also a very, very interesting race himself. I don't know where he came from, to be honest, towards the end of this fight, and it was sort of out of nowhere. But he did, and he delivered, and I think he got a podium as well. Am I right in saying that, GB?
Emotions were running high, yes, mate. We finished on the podium at the end.
Goodness me.
Since my chat after lap 1, we're going for a last to podium here, because we were, I mean, you guys saw the carnage all across the board, we were shunted around. I think we got rear-ended twice, couple broken wings, 5 pit stops. I don't even know. It was crazy, absolutely crazy.
It was baffling. It was standard creator series, I think, if you were to define it in any way. The amount of safety cars we had, the restarts, the insane fights that we witnessed as well. I mean, it was just typical, but certainly I think the audience loved it. Box office, pure box office. But I tell you what, things started to open up for you, didn't they, towards the end? I mean, you managed to get yourself into 4th place. You had opportunities. Obviously, it's not ideal given where you started because you're right in the mixer, and anyone has a chance of a podium, certainly when they're in that fight. But you delivered, and at the end of the day, the final stint, the final few laps were the crucial moments.
Yeah, exactly. I knew the pace was good. I knew the pace was good at the start, like when we had clean air. It was strong on the mediums. I just kept saying, look, let's cross our fingers, hope for a safety car. Obviously, there were 4 in the end, so plenty of choice. And to be honest, I don't really know what happened to the guys at the front. I'm looking forward to digesting some of that after. But yeah, it looked crazy. Very happy with my pace today, and kind of redemption for the first 2 races where we were kind of, rear-ended at the start and had to basically do the same thing. So yeah.
But this is the type of pace that we've seen from you in the past. I think even alluding back to last season, where you'd be in the top 10 and you'd show that you had moments where you would make overtakes and you close gaps, you take opportunities. It just felt that on the odd occasion that perhaps a little bit of bad luck got into your race, but it just seemed today that things sort of went your way this time, which I think
exactly. Like I think the first kind of half of the race was very much not the case, but that final safety car, I had just boxed for softs before it came out, so I thought at the time, we've been robbed here again, but actually it bunched us all up, and even though I had a little bit more wear on the tires, we were able to come back for a P3 at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how you get the points, the big points, to say the least. Looking ahead to the championship, opportunities for more, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's Monza next, right, guys?
I believe so. Can you confirm that, Badgerman?
Yeah. I can actually confirm that. Yes, it is Monza next
there you
week.
go, Templar Speed.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that'll be a good one. That should be a lot of fun for everyone to watch. But also, I like Monza. I think it's one of my good tracks. So hopefully we'll be competitive there as well.
Fantastic. Well, brilliant result, brilliant podium, brilliant P3. I'm sure it won't be the last either. Congratulations.
Cheers, guys. I appreciate it. Take care.
And you, thank you ever so much, GB. Appreciate having you on board as well. Incredible result, certainly for him. Badgerman obviously getting himself into the top 3. I'm sure it won't be the last one he gets either. I mean, he seems like a very competent driver. We've seen him on many occasions make a dazzling overtake, close down gaps. I alluded that to him in our interview. But it just seemed like the bad luck creeped in on the odd occasion. Yeah,
it seems like that happens to him quite a bit. It's just he needs to. If he gets one race where he is lucky, then GB is easily going to win a race. Because if we look back over his performances so far over last season and this season, he's never finished better than P3, and that is surprising with someone of his pace. So if he gets lucky one race, I think GB is easily a race winner.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Jake in the mix here. He's come to join us. Meraki JL.
No.
Oh, just JL. Okay.
That name is in the past now, guys. That name is well and truly gone.
Just JL, yeah?
Yeah.
JL's
yeah,
fine.
just AL, yeah.
No, I mean, Jake, incredible race.
Yeah.
For you, I think you were a little unfortunate on the final few laps because you were in contention for that podium. But then something happened, didn't it? In the final couple of laps, and you were reduced to P6. Tell us all about it.
It did indeed. So, I don't know where my qualifying lap came from that put me on pole, but it was almost like one of those laps that was just kind of perfect. And at the start of the race, my pace was pretty good. Obviously, I could keep Bushy behind on the same tires. So I think that was kind of like my plan because I was running a very low downforce setup. So that was kind of my plan to sacrifice, I guess, Sector 1 and maybe a little bit of Sector 2 and just keep everybody behind me in Sector 3. And I guess on the restart, it was going well. I was going down the inside of that guy Vince and Bushy Ants, and a little nudge from the rear from Mr. Jorrit van Heffen kind of pushed me over.
Names now as well.
Yeah. Naming and shaming, mate. But yeah, just a little nudge from him. I guess he's apologized. He just outbroke himself, and it kind of pushed me wide over turn 2. I got a warning from that, and then that kind of resulted in me getting like a penalty. because I got one more warning after that. But it is what it is. It was a really good race. I enjoyed it. I'm happy with my pole lap at least, and I know I had the pace.
You had pole, so I mean,
yeah.
And I thought what was just as impressive was that Q2 clutch lap right at the very end, because you were right in the drop zone. You needed that last lap. What? Just talk us through those final 2 sectors, because they were blistering towards the end.
Yeah, so going through sector 1, I was already down coming out of turn 2 by about a tenth or so. So I knew I kind of had to, because I was already in P10 going through sector 1 already, so I kind of knew I had to like nail the lap. And towards the end of the S section in sector 1, I did a little oopsie and I almost spun. Luckily enough, it wasn't to the point where like I fully spun around or had to cut a corner or anything. It kind of just pushed me off wide a bit and just ruined a bit of momentum. So that put even more pressure on in the second and third sectors. And I think based on the setup that I had, at least it was those 2 sectors that went really well for me, because I kind of did quite well and got as close to the walls as I could. And yeah, it worked in the end somehow by some absolute miracle. I don't know how I managed it, but it was good. It was good.
It was good. It was a great lap. And obviously now looking ahead, we've got more races to come.
Mm-hmm.
You know your capabilities. Am I right in also saying today that you were streaming on the Williams Esports account?
I was.
You were?
I was. I was lucky enough to
have the opportunity. Talk us through that as
great.
well, because obviously me and you met for the first time at the Williams Esports Lounge, of course. So obviously you have a close relationship there, and now you're streaming on the account now.
I absolutely love the team to bits. I love just literally. I've loved Williams for like a very, very long time. And I remember like the first time they came into my chat and just like said hi, because I was talking about them. I was like, and then they just randomly popped up saying hello, and then that was like a bit of a what is going on kind of moment. And then the whole esports factory happened with me and you, where you forgot who I was.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know who I was. I should say.
In my defence, I hadn't met you before, so you know, me and faces and names just don't mix. I mean, you just be lucky I didn't call you Mr. JL or anything like that, because
that is true.
That could have easily happened.
That is true. But seriously, I'll never forget when you was like, "Wait, who are you?" I will never forget that moment. That's extra in my mind, mate.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But it's kind of crazy how it's just like it's almost like it's snowballed from them being in my chat for the first time to being at the esports facility, and then me streaming on their channel. So it's an absolute like privilege really to be kind of doing something like that, especially with a team that I absolutely adore. So it was good. It was very, very good.
Just goes to show it doesn't matter who you are. If you put the work in and you have enough passion, you can get the results you want. And I'd say that's a statement about your rise as well with Williams, and obviously becoming part of that team as well. But that's massive. But looking ahead now,
I'm not part of them yet.
Not part of them yet. Well, hey,
watch
this space, folks. Watch this space. We'll see what happens when the
one day, hopefully,
unravels. Absolutely. Well, the current affairs are looking positive anyway. But
yes,
looking ahead though, championship. We're only in round 3. We've just done round 3. Round 4 coming up next. Monza's next. Thoughts as we head to the Temple of Speed.
Well, I like tracks that are fast. So it's
fast.
Monza's one of my better tracks as well, I would say. Yeah. So hopefully we can get a good result. Hopefully we can get another pole possibly, and like hopefully a win, and avoid any little mishaps like what happened today. But I'm hoping for a good race. I'm hoping for a very, very good race. So let's see.
Well, hopefully we get one. But congratulations anyway. Great effort today, and we'll look ahead to Monza, and very best of luck with that one.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you
Bye.
so much. Meraki, everybody joining us in the commentary box. And folks, what a sensational race. What a sensational season we've had so far. Saudi Arabia has delivered on the promise of the Creator Series, folks. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, despite the numerous technical difficulties we unfortunately had. But still, looking ahead, we have got lots to look forward to. Monza, the Temple of Speed, the Italian Grand Prix here at the Creator Series. If you haven't done so already, I implore you to check out the socials as provided by Harry59 in the comment section. Make sure you click the link tree and you can check those out. Creator Series on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, not to mention YouTube as well, where loads of content gets uploaded. Highlights as well get posted too. And if you took clips, they might get featured on the channel as well, or on any of the social medias as time goes on. Also, if you want to check me out, my name is, of course, George Morgan. I'm your commentator. George Morgan TV is where you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, as well as many other places as well. Badgerman, where can they find you as well, my friend?
You can find me on Twitter at Badgerman TV, but also on Twitch and YouTube, just at Badgerman without the TV. Always make sure that you replace the E in Badgerman with a 3 to make sure to find me. And on YouTube, there will be a video soon about the Creator Series, about what happened at Bahrain and why I wasn't there for the commentary. It's been in the works for 2 weeks now. All that's missing at this point is the thumbnail, and I'll get that sorted within the next 2 days, hopefully. Then expect something by Monday on my YouTube channel about the Creator Series Bahrain Grand Prix.
Watch this space, folks. Watch this space. So look forward to seeing that, that's for sure. Badgerman, what are your thoughts after this race as well? Can you summarize your thoughts and feelings after what we just witnessed?
How much time do you have?
Go for it. Shoot from there.
There was so much going on. We had, I think, 4 or 5 safety cars.
Yeah.
We've had crashes, spins. We've had cars hitting the barrier at 21 kilometers an hour and retiring, and we've had cars hitting the wall with 190 kilometers an hour. That was Tiamat Marduk and retiring. So we've had everything and everything in between. So I don't know what to say at this point anymore. I can give you the standings for those of you who are still tuned in and watch right now. So obviously Alex Gillen leads the championship with 75 points. 3 races, 3 wins. We don't count fastest laps, 4 points. Jorrit Jan van Geven is actually second with 42. He is number 1 of the main drivers, of the non-reserve drivers. Justwan Ali is third on 26. Then in 4th place, we have a bit of a tie between Tiamat Marduk and GB68 on 25 points. Baraki JL in 6th with 23. In P7, both Safso and Bushians with 22. P9, Datguy Vince with 13, and P10, Hayden Gullis with 12 points. In the Constructors' Championship, and this is an unprecedented situation, I have to say. The leader in the Drivers' Championship has more points than the leading team in the Constructors' Championship.
Goodness me. How is that possible?
Because Alex Gillen is a reserve driver, so he keeps switching teams every week.
Incredible, yes, of course. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Never before seen in Formula One.
Scuderia Ferrari leading with 53 points, but only 6 ahead of McLaren with 47. Alfa Romeo 42, all of those points, courtesy of Jorrit Jan van Geven. And then in 4th place, we have AlphaTauri, 5th Mercedes, 38 and 34 respectively, and 6th is Haas with 33 points. The bottom 2 teams, I think, are of note here, as they are quite far away from the other 8. That's Red Bull Racing with 4 points in P9, and Alpine with 3 points in P10.
Goodness me. Well, I tell you what, folks, stand by your beds. It's not over yet. Of course, it's been a pleasure. Look after yourselves. I hope you enjoyed the race, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Speed for the Italian Grand Prix. Take care, folks. Goodbye.